LA, Ventura County mountains, and you can see them gusting through the Simi area. This is not an abnormal view, so it just goes to show if you have the perfect ingredients on a day like today, where you do have dry fuel, our fuel's starting to dry out now, we're not even in these red flag conditions. Those are farther north. And so right now we're looking at temperatures mostly in the 70s around these spots. It's not even too hot yet, but how fast that this could be growing, and that the fact that we are already potentially losing more structures as well. This is all a great indicator of what we've been seeing already for such a huge portion of our state, and now we're getting this here as well. So I want to make a map here in just the next few moments so I can kind of pinpoint exactly where we're seeing this and the neighborhoods and spots that we could see some of this. So if you are southwest of where we're talking about this fire, then just know that those are the areas that we're really starting to look for, because this is the wind that we're seeing going down toward the southwest from the northeast. These are drying winds, so we're going to talk about when we'll start to see this subside. If there's any good news here, it's that these winds are really going to be way backing off in the next couple of hours. So we're going to start to get some relief in the next few hours. It's not going to last too long. We're not expecting them to get too much stronger than this. So I'm going to show you here in just a little bit what we can expect for the rest of the day, and I'm going to show you on a map exactly what we're seeing right now. I'll toss it back to you guys for now.
All right. Thank you, Brianna, so much. Okay, we're going to go back out to Scott Reif. He's in Air 7. Scott, we've been watching some pretty precise water drops right there. And then you can see the community out there worried. And then I always, you think about the equestrian areas, and you saw the horses. It's such a big operation to move these horses from their facilities. So kind of give us the lay of the land out there, because now we see a little more activity, but a little less smoke.
Well, no, just because I'm pushed in. I wanted to show you this because it's Peter Place, and you can tell all the people came out of their homes at the end of the cul-de-sac and Ventura County fires there. They're going to save this. This isn't going to be a problem. I think you're going to be fine. They just made 4 water drops in there. For the most part, the wind is blowing it to the right, and I want to show you that area we're really concerned about, Hazel Ridge Court and, of course, Rocking Horse Drive, and that's right in there on the top of your screen, in all that smoke. And you can tell, folks, I think there's a horse down in the driveway there. They're frantically trying to get their animals out of the corrals that they have here. There's a lot of horse country on the southern end of Simi Valley, and they're just doing everything they can do to get out, but there's no fire resources there. And this is the area that really is of concern. Not only that, it's hard for the helicopters to get in and make drops in that area. They don't really drop on a home. They try to drop on the fuel and on the brush, but for the most part, it's just too smoky to get in there. When we saw it clear a few moments ago, we did see at least one. We thought maybe 2 homes that were on fire, and there you can tell the battle right there. It looks like that's not a home, but you can tell how the fire, Trickling Brooks Court, that's what's burning right there. And I can't tell, is that a home at the end of the street? Well, it really does look like it.
At first it looked like a tree.
So yeah, I think that's probably 3 of them that we believe we've seen through the smoke. Tragically, they're going to be gone. And this just came up so quickly.
Well, and Scott, it also has the problem is fuel. It's also a problem because there's cars right there. So that's to your point. You've got all of that material there. Cars, homes,
yeah, there's
trees.
So much fuel once a house goes. Sure.
Yeah. Well, and then you also think about it at the time.
Go ahead and finish what you were saying, Scott.
I was just repeating what you said. There's no question that once you start to lose a home, it's much more difficult than battling the fire when it's just brush pushing up against the house. There's no comparison. We are losing homes in there. So there's so much fuel in the homes, so much embers that'll come off that, and then you got those homes so close together. Unfortunately, I think we're going to lose more, it looks to me. I want to give you a wide shot. That's the area I showed you. I think they're going to save. They're already making water drops on the southern end, close to where the origin of the fire was. It's called the Sandy Fire. It broke out off of Sandy Drive, but I don't know if we can pull out as wide as we can and give you a little perspective. It's burning off to the right, which would be to the south and to the west, and once it gets past those little groups of homes, it's burning up into the brush, and there are no homes off to the right side of your screen. That's that mountain range south of Simi Valley before you get down into Agoura Hills and Thousand Oaks. So it had quite a way to go. You can push in there, and that's going to be Agoura Hills right over there. I think that might be off Las Virgenes Drive, if I'm not mistaken. So that gives you a little perspective. But if we come back to the other spot, we want to keep our eye on Hazel Ridge Court and on Rocking Horse Drive. We feel for the folks who live in there. It's a frantic moment right now, trying to get out, trying to get their horses out, trying to get themselves out. Pan to the right a little bit. I still want to keep pushed into this one area that I think is really right now battling some difficult conditions. They have their trailer out. They're trying to get their horses out, and you can tell the smoke must be debilitating in there, just trying to get everything going. And I don't see any fire crews, so that's really a concern. It looks like the fire department has not staged in that area yet, and there are a lot more homes besides that we just can't see because of the smoke.
Yeah, Scott, and as you mentioned, I mean, this is such an important fight to get it before it gets into any homes, because that would just create a bigger problem, because then it just feeds on itself. And to that point, LA City Fire is now joining into this. We're getting word that the city of Chatsworth, LAFD Fire Department is sending 3 strike teams, hand crews, heavy equipment. They're sending bulldozers, helicopters, all to help fight this Sandy fire that's in Simi Valley. So a lot of resources are being sent to help fight this fire. So they are trying as much as they can to direct this fire away from the homes, because as Scott mentioned, if they can get it away from the homes and out into the brush, away from homes, then they can minimize the damage, which has already been seen, because some of the structures, we don't know how many, there are structures that have been damaged due to this fire right now. But we're trying to give you an idea as to where this is burning and what roads are also being affected by this fire as well. Yeah,
we're talking about some mandatory evacuations that are also underway. We know that an area of the freeway 118 north to the 23 to the west. So you know this area, you see it right there. You can see the red part is the mandatory evacuation. The yellow area is the voluntary evacuation warning. So you do want to take notice. You want to be prepared. This is that time. Unfortunately, I know we know this drill, but you've got to get your stuff out. If you have one of those boxes with your passport, your medicines, you know, some cash if you possibly need it, which thank goodness not so much in this time. But, you know, we always say have a box that you do absolutely need to take. And then again, this is that time where a lot of families are home. If they have little kids, they're napping. So it's very stressful. And you can see on the left-hand side from Air 7, you can see the equestrian area. They have been doing a good job getting trailers out there, moving horses, at least getting them into those trailers. But again, look at that. You can see this is a very destructive fire, already damaging, destroying. We don't know the number of properties that have been destroyed. We can see that one right there just go right up in flames. And again, this has not been going on more than about 45 minutes. Scott Reif, you are live overhead. You're talking about the winds. I'm pulling you back into our coverage as we see. Is that a new property that we're seeing going up in flames, or have you been watching that one? It's just the smoke's clearing.
Yeah, the smoke cleared a little bit, and we moved around a little bit. They're going to lose that home, obviously, and you can see the Ventura County engines got as much water on that as they can get. I want to pull out of this shot. This is Trickling Brook Road in the southern end of Simi Valley. Now, what we showed you earlier was more like some horse stables, and they're trying to get the horses out. At least in this area right here, which is right at the top of the ridge line at this point in time, they do have fire protection, structure protection in place, and you can see the fire department is here. We have that one home that we saw through the smoke earlier, and that's it. That has been lost. But as we talked about, the issue is if this fire goes from one house to the next in this area, and as we come to the right a little bit, you really get an idea sometimes when we push in just how windy it is down there. You can tell it's really howling in some areas. The trees are moving, and boy, you can see all that smoke headed to the southwest right now, moving very quickly, and folks just trying to get out. Give me a wider shot for a moment. I want to see if we can see any other homes that have been lost in this. On the bottom of your screen, I thought we saw a home right in that area. We're getting back down into that area of Rambling Road and the Casual Court area and Rocking Horse Drive. That's all sort of the streets in here, obviously all under mandatory evacuations. And as you mentioned, Philip, as it burns up the ridge line, you can see the fuel burning there. It's flashy fuel. It's so dry, it's burning very quickly. You can see it looks like a corral there, not a home, but you can see those flames are building and getting bigger. If they can stop it on the top of the ridge line and it doesn't get into too many of these houses, that's going to be very encouraging. They're really going to be able to make some progress. But if this gets into that entire neighborhood, we start losing more and more homes, then it's really going to be difficult.
Yeah, Scott, I'm listening to it. I'm looking at this. You know, you're talking about, we talked about the weather. You know, when you're on the ground and you're reporting from fires, it's incredibly windy, but you never get the vantage point when you're up above in Air 7 about how windy it really is. I think we are, Philip Palmer is going to possibly go over this evacuation area.
Yeah, well, we can actually, you know, we talk about these fires. Everybody knows where Simi Valley is, and sometimes it helps to actually take a look on the map and give you an idea of where some of these roads and some of the freeways are. So we've brought our touch screen, and we can kind of show that this right here is 118. So that gives you kind of the perspective. So here is the Sandy fire and its start point. So we can actually kind of zoom you in. You know, Scott was talking about meandering. So you can actually, when we take a look at this, we actually can show sometimes some of our helicopter assets, and you have the fixed wing here. But so basically our Sandy fire started over in this space. And then when you really bring in, this is meander right here. So see, you can see this is the area where all your homes are, and that's where Scott is talking about. So your fire started on this side, and this is the area that they're really worried about, because as we mentioned, you've got a really heavily populated area. I'm just going to step across because I want to be able to look. So, you know, when you really zoom us in here, here's meander right here. So this is all of that open space right here, and we're really trying to avoid, again, you've got a helicopter. This is what's neat. You've got your helicopter assets all over the place. They're really trying to get up in here. So you want to avoid getting into these homes, because that's your problem. Once it gets into those homes, it just starts hopscotching, and it can jump from here to here, wherever it might go. So again, your 118 is here. This is all of the open space. So again, if it gets out into here, that's a fight that they can have. You can get air resources on it. You can fight that fight. You just don't want to get up into these communities. This is the space that's covered in smoke. We can't see it right now because once the wind blows it, it flattens it down. It gets on top of it. But if they can keep it, they have these maps. They can map this fire. We also can actually zoom it out, and we can actually show you much better. This is the evacuation order. These are the areas that have the warning. So this is the 118. If you live in this space, as you go to the west of this fire, you need to start thinking about getting out and getting, I'm going to move on the other side once again. You need to start preparing. Again, you've got your air resources up and about. This is the evacuation orders. These are the evacuation warnings. The wind is blowing. You've got to be prepared. You've got to be ready to get out, Colleen. So we're going to keep following this on our maps. We'll keep you posted. Just want to make sure everybody kind of understands where this fire is burning, the direction it's going. We'll continue to map it. It says 10 acres right now, but again, that can grow at a moment's notice.
Yeah, absolutely. Philip, you're so right. Getting a good perspective on it is really helpful as well. Again, you see a lot of these communities, you know that these neighbors are getting a hold of each other, calling the ones who are maybe at work or at school, and trying to get everybody located, because just by the amount of smoke it's producing, it's reassuring to see that it's not as close, but when you see the smoke moving over your home, you definitely need to heed these warnings and just be prepared, because I was seeing the firefighters running with the hose. You know, they were just running. It's just so sad when you see someone's home they work so hard to keep to go right up in flames within just moments.
A lot more than that.
When you say a lot more than that, Scott, I mean, are you seeing?
No, they had reported 10
okay.
acres. They said, I believe it's a lot more than that. It appears to me, you know, it's burning a lot more than that. I'll give you a wide shot. This is the area we're keeping an eye on. That home has been lost, but the good news is we haven't seen any of the homes that we were worried about right on the top of the ridgeline. We mentioned all that flashy fuel and how quickly it came up the ridgeline towards the top of the ridge, and all those homes right at the end of the cul-de-sacs. We're really worried about those. One caught on fire, but they're able to knock that down. I wouldn't say knock it down. It's destroyed, but they're able to almost put it out before it spread to other homes close by. Go as wide as you can, Chad, so I want to give you a little perspective. This is the area they're really concerned about. Casual Court, Trickling Brook, and of course, as I mentioned earlier, Rocking Horse Drive are all these little streets in here, but they have made a lot of progress. compared to what we saw initially. You know, they got rid of most of the flashy fuel that burned right up to the top of the ridge line. They got a lot of helicopter drops in there. They were able to stop it on the top of the ridge, except for that one home. We haven't seen another one. There's still a lot of fire smoldering in this area, but we're seeing more and more structure protection, and we're seeing more helicopters making drops. Now, fortunately, we don't have high winds today. I mean, high and excessive winds like Santa Ana's in the 30, 40, 50 mile an hour winds. It might be 20 out here. It gets to be a little bit more, Colleen, as you mentioned, down on the ground, that wind really starts to swirl. But we're not having a really bad Santa Ana wind day. If we were, this would be a much bigger problem. But give me a wide shot once again, because it's pretty encouraging right now from what we saw earlier. You can tell that's the extent of where the fire is burning towards homes, and it looks much better right now than it did, say, 10 or 15 minutes ago. I believe, as I mentioned earlier, it's more than 10 acres, but we'll get official updates on that later. That's a pretty big area right there on the bottom of your screen. That's where the fire started. Please, Jay. That's where the fire started, down on the bottom of your screen. And so from there, it just quickly took off and went up the hill towards these homes. But right now, it's encouraging. Right now, it looks much better than it did earlier. It
is very encouraging, Scott. And again, you were talking about that weather on the ground. You just need one ember to just find its way into an eave. Brianna, you're tracking the winds. You've made a map. Let's talk about what you have over there.
Yeah, so we pinpointed the area here, and we're just looking at some of the communities that Scott's already been talking about and some of the streets that we're looking ahead to. But this is such a perfect indicator that we don't have red flag warnings in place here. In fact, we have them for a lot of the state, but not quite here for us. But we have wind advisories in place, and this is a great indicator of what could even happen with just a wind advisory in place on a Santa Ana day. But again, like Scott said, these are not major Santa Anas. They're in fact a bit on the weaker side, and we're looking at winds mostly right around 18 miles per hour. I've been looking at weather stations right around the Simi Hills area and right around this fire. And so we're looking at mostly sustained winds around 18, maybe 20 miles per hour. It's the gusts that are getting a little closer to about 37 miles per hour. So again, this is not what we're seeing, gusts exceeding 50 miles per hour. We'd be talking about quite a different story. Relative humidity, also at least still in the double digits. It's getting lower. It's about 15%, but at least we're not in single digits. Temperatures in the low 70s in this area too, so that's also helping us out. So we have several factors that are helping us out. But as we've been talking about, these are Santa Ana winds, and so they are coming from the northeast. They're traveling to the southwest. And so just taking a closer look onto this map and where some of these communities are that Scott's been talking about, whenever we have these fires break out on Santa Ana days, we look at communities to the southwest of the fire and where that's traveling from the northeast. So these are the streets that we've really been looking at that hopefully you are on alert. We have Rocking Horse there. We've been hearing Scott talk about that, and we've also been looking at some other areas right around this spot here. And I want to show you most areas in this spot. We're looking right around the 35 mile per hour range, clocking up to about 37 to 38 at most in this area. And those are just wind gusts. Those are not sustained winds. So it's gusting here and there up to that speed. And this is kind of what we're looking at for most of the areas that we're seeing today. There will be isolated spots possible up to 40 to 50 miles per hour as we take a look at the rest of the Southland. But for the most part, looking at that area over in Simi, that is under the wind advisory criteria. That is going to expire this afternoon, because the good news is, if there's any here, is that we're not going to see these winds last too much longer, at least the stronger winds. These wind advisories already expire by this afternoon, by the time we get into about 3 o'clock, it looks like. Now, we do have red flag warnings just north of us, so we are starting to see our fuels dry out. We are starting to see elevated fire danger, and just because we don't have red flag warnings issued doesn't mean we can't still have elevated fire danger. We still have warm temperatures. It's been really dry. It's been really warm for several days lately, and we've been dealing with a lot of heat over just the past couple months already. So as we head into the rest of the day today, we'll start to see this back off, and we just have a couple more hours to go, and we're really going to start to see these winds subside. Colleen, I'm going to send things back over to you now as we continue to monitor the wind speeds here.
Absolutely. Great information, Brianna. Again, and you know, hopefully we are seeing sort of some of this smoke lifting. Scott Reif in Air 7, he's been monitoring this all morning long when it first broke out. Scott, it does look a little bit better. The firefighters are certainly doing their absolute best to get this fire out.
Yeah, there's no question about that. We got an update. I believe it's 140 acres now, approximately that much, or 170, somewhere in that range. But you can tell it's encouraging what we're seeing. We lost that one home, and it really took off. I'm not sure exactly where that is along that ridge line, if we can find it, Chad. because we were really concerned about it. There it is right there. That's been lost, but we thought that might spread to the other homes in this area. That's Trickling Brook and Casual Court, Rocking Horse Drive. So far, only one home has been lost, and that's incredible from what we saw earlier. But I backed off a little bit. I wanted to give you a wide shot, and it's encouraging what we're seeing. I wouldn't say we're out of the woods right now, but if you were with us earlier and you saw that wall of flame coming up the hill towards those homes right in that area in the center of your screen, boy, we're really concerned about that. Concerned about losing a lot of houses, and we didn't. We lost one, unfortunately, but it looks like at this point in time, maybe only one. The fire is laid down pretty nicely because it didn't spread to the homes, and they were able to keep it into the grass. You can see the drops they're making. I think they have 3 or 4 helicopters on this right now, and that certainly is putting a dent in this. So once again, I want to give you a wide shot. It's on the southern end of Simi Valley. And as we open up, we're looking due south. Open up as wide as you can. It'll give you a little perspective as to what we're looking at. That's the southern end of Simi. As we tilt up a little bit, you're going to see what's the 101 freeway. That's the Gura Hills out towards Calabasas. So it gives you a little perspective on where it is. You can push back in there, Chad. That one area right there is of concern. It seems to be sort of flaring up off to the right, but that's up into the brush. So to the right of your screen, up in the hillside. The fire is going to take off up in that area. You can see it's burned a little bit already, but there are no homes further south. So as we open up once again out of this shot, it looks very encouraging right now. It looks like they've done a fantastic job to save most of these homes. From what we can tell, only one has been lost.
Well, and also we're hearing word that LA County is also sending fire as well. So you have LA City Fire there, you have LA County Fire, you have Ventura County Fire, and we've watched another. That is the QRF, so they have the quick reaction force there. So they have a lot of resources that they have thrown at this fire. And again, you've seen when you can get the resources, specifically the air resources on some of these fires, it can really make a significant difference because, as Scott mentioned, the speed with which this was moving, if it had gotten into this neighborhood, it could have been catastrophic.
Yeah, and we do want to continue to welcome people to joining us for Eyewitness News at 11:30 a.m. I'm Colleen Sullivan along with Philip Palmer. We do have Scott Reif. Scott Reif, you're over the scene of the fire in Simi Valley. We're talking about it looks very encouraging. As Philip just said, they're throwing all of our local resources at this, and it really does look like it's made a difference. Well,
and I want to ask Scott about, Scott, can you, the quick reaction force, we saw that helicopter go by. Can you just explain a little bit about what that is? That quick reaction force, they can respond to fires within any county, and it's really a great community effort between the counties, the way they can get those helicopters that can do so much work within the Southern California area.
There's no question. So the city and county have contracted out to what would be big helicopters, like the Chinook you just saw a moment ago. We have 3 of them based at Van Nuys Airport. We're not into the season yet, but later on we're going to have a couple of Chinooks based at Van Nuys Airport, and they can get out quickly. They're on call 24/7, ready to go with crews at any time to assist LA County and LA Fire. Now, this was partially in Ventura County, and LA County responded, as did City Fire, to this one. They had a lot of helicopters on this quickly. I wanted to go back and show you to the left, just to give you an idea. It's the Sandy Fire, and that's Sandy Drive right there. So that's where it started, Sandy Avenue. That looks like pretty close to the origin of the fire, right in that area right there. And you can tell because the wind was blowing from the south, and then it moved to the right. So I'll give you a wide shot of everything, but every moment that goes by, it looks better. All of that fuel that was burning, putting out all that smoke, laying over those homes for the most part, has really backed off quite a bit. They have structure protection on all of those homes now. When we first got on scene, they were really still mobilizing, trying to get everybody evacuated. It was frantic, and it seems it's calmed down quite a bit. We've lost one home, but if they hold this to one home, that'll be incredible. And I think that's the home that we were watching right there early on through the smoke that really took off. We were so concerned that it might spread to other homes. You can see it's still burning, and you can tell, you know, when you get a fire burning in a home like that, if it gets under the embers get under the eaves of the house next door, they can go up pretty quickly, but they've got a lot of structure protection in place here now, and it looks better. Every moment that goes by, it looks a bit better.
And Scott, we do have a map of the evacuation orders and warnings that we want to show folks. And if you use the 118 and the 23 as your guidepost here, the evacuation order that you can see there in the red, you can see the evacuation warnings there in the yellow to the immediate west there. So just be aware that if you're in that space, that you need to be prepared to get out. That would be the section 31 is your warning space. And again, if you're just to the south of the 118 is your area that is the evacuation order. Now, again, it is looking better right now, but you do need to be aware that that is not something to take lightly. And I'm sure anybody in that evacuation order area has probably gotten out, or at least taken steps to get out, because the smoke was probably alerting you to that, because it was just, everybody was just blanketed in the smoke at the initial out of this right around 10:30. There was just so much smoke we couldn't even really see where this all was. At first, it just looked so bad, but a lot of it was due to what was burning, the grass, the brush that was burning. Not a lot of trees that were burning. It was just that quick, flashy burning that was just causing so much smoke. And combine that with 25-mile-an-hour winds, it was just laying down over that entire evacuation order area, and it just caused a lot of smoke.
Yeah, and it did look like it was quite fast moving because of the way the winds, and it sort of looked like the winds were slightly pushing down the cloud or the smoke coverage. So you can see, you know, again, we're talking about 184 acres. That has been the last reported acreage of this fire that it's consumed. But you can see it as the smoke is lifting. You can see that whole charred hillside. You can see why firefighters were so worried about it, because it really did, you know, that fuel really fueled this fire to like eat right through that hillside.
So Scott is with us, and we're taking a look at video here, Scott, of the structure that did burn. And that video kind of shows you, Scott, of one of the problems. As I mentioned, the fuel that was burning, the grassy shrubbery that was burning on the hillside, the problem, you mentioned it, when it gets into the home, that's different. And the video we showed cars. It showed a lot of you know, just home items that are outside of that home. In this circumstance, it looks like just maybe even car repair items out there. And when you get up in the eaves of a home, things just start to blow around. You have trees. And that in and of itself, Scott, can start blowing into other homes. And that was what was the biggest concern, is if it gets into a neighborhood, it starts home after home after home, potentially. Thankfully, the structure protection was in place, and it stopped that from happening.
Yeah, that's the one home on Trickling Court, and it looks better, as I mentioned earlier, every moment that goes by, because the brush that was up to these homes is really burned. But thank goodness we have the helicopters. I want to give you a wide shot once again. You can tell it is really windy down there still, and that's one home. Look how long it's taken them to get a handle on that one home. If we had lost a lot of homes in that area, it's sort of like it just hopscotches, you know? It's exponentially just rolls on, and it goes from house to house. They were able to stop that, but look how effective the helicopters are. They're making so many drops. Fortunately, we don't have extremely high winds. I would say maybe 20 to 25 miles an hour. Aloft, we don't have much in the way of winds at all, but on the ground, it's probably maybe a little more severe than that, but not much. And then the helicopters just made so much progress so quickly. If it wasn't for the helicopters, we probably would have lost a lot of those homes, because they made such a big difference. Especially, they got the Chinook in here now that drops 3,000 pounds. They've got 3 or 4 Blackhawks in here making drops. So city, county, Ventura County, and of course the quick reaction aircrafts you talked about, Philip. And what a big difference they made. They saved these homes, I believe.
No doubt about it. It's incredible. Every moment you're seeing a water drop happening. It's not as though we're waiting for one to go get the water, then to come back, snorkel, to get some water. You know, it's a constant rotation of the air resources really, truly making an impact on this fire. I know, Brianna Ruffalo, you're watching and monitoring some of the winds out here and sort of giving an idea of what people are experiencing.
Yeah, we are seeing current conditions right now. I mean, the interesting thing about this is we've been talking about, even last week, just elevated fire danger. but we don't have the red flag warnings here in this spot, and all we have is a wind advisory in place. And so just because we don't have red flag conditions in place doesn't mean that we can't see a fire and that we may not see properties damaged. So we've been looking at some of the wind speeds here, and they're not incredibly high. As Scott has been saying, this is not a major or extreme Santa Ana day, but we had just enough wind and just enough dry fuel in this area because we've had so many warm temperatures already in the past couple of months that we can see fires really take off fairly quickly. So this is a look at some of the current conditions here over into the Simi Hills. Kind of pinpointing some of these weather stations right around this area that I've been looking at. And we've been looking at most winds sustained coming out of the northeast, right around 18 to 20 miles per hour. Gusts anywhere from about 37 to 38. So we're getting closer to that 40 mile per hour range, or really staying in those mid to upper 30s in this area. And that doesn't mean that they're continuing to speed at that level. They're mostly right around the 20 mile per hour range, but gusting at times up to about 37. And luckily, we're not seeing 50 mile per hour winds because we'd be seeing or exceeding that. A strong Santa Ana day, this would be looking much different. Relative humidity, at least not in the single digits, but we are right at about 15%, so getting a little more dry. Temperatures in this area in the low 70s, so we also have that working in our favor. But I do just want to take you down into some of these neighborhoods that Scott's already been talking about and showing you in terms of where we are seeing potential dangers here. And it's anywhere downwind from these fires. So when we're looking at Santa Ana days, and it is coming from the northeast, blowing toward the southwest. It's trickling Brook Court, it's Hazel Ridge Court, and then as we take you a little farther south, Casual Court, Scott has been talking about, as well as Rocking Horse. So if you're in any of these neighborhoods, of course, I'm sure you already know what's going on, but to just be on alert, and this is the spots that we're looking at that are directly southwest from this fire. Now, as we take you out to kind of a more wide shot as to what's happening, you'll notice whenever we have really strong days, we see winds closer to this purple color. So we're seeing a little more in the way of red, 30, 35 mile per hour winds, getting closer to about 37 to 38 over into Simi Valley, Santa Clarita as well. These are all areas that are dealing with elevated fire danger today. And so we don't need the red flag warning to be talking about elevated fire danger. We have enough wind, we have enough dry fuel to be talking about this. And so I just want to roll through this afternoon, because if there's any good news out of this today, aside from this not being an incredible strong Santa Ana and not having extremely high heat or even lower humidity levels, it's that these winds are not going to last that much longer. If you watch this timestamp here in the next few hours, just to hopefully calm some nerves, but to still stay alert, by the time we get into about 1:30, 2 p.m. this afternoon, we really start to see this back off. And so you can see right around the Simi area, we get closer to the yellow, to the blue, which is what we'd much prefer to see, anywhere from about 10 to 20 mile per hour winds. Those wind advisories expire by about 3 p.m. because by the time we get into this afternoon, we're looking at just more of a breeze rather than those stronger gusts. And then tomorrow, same goes. We're just going to get back to a breeze. So these are the areas that we have those wind advisories issued, and you can notice that they expire at about 3 p.m. this afternoon. So we don't have much longer to go, but just north of us, we do have those red flag conditions. So a lot of these areas for California, especially the interior part, are already starting to dry out quite significantly to be seeing red flags for this much of the state. So it's a huge part of the inner portions of California, traveling out through Kern County, Bakersfield, all the way through the Central Valley, through Sacramento, all the way up to Chico. These expire by tonight, but just goes to show that we've already been seeing some really dry, elevated fire danger. Now, luckily, our temperature's not too bad today. We are looking in this area right now, mostly some lower 70s, but getting closer to some mid 70s in that spot. So we're not talking about 80s quite yet, but we will be getting a little warmer here in the next few hours. But luckily, our winds will be dying back by then as well. All right, we'll have another check here coming up in just a little bit, guys. I will send it back to you for now.
All right.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Brianna. And she's talking about the winds dying down. Even the smoke we see is different from when this fire first started. We're still seeing active fire, though. Scott Reif is in Air 7. And just the fact, Scott, that you can see the flames in a manner of speaking is different than when you first got over this.
Yeah, certainly we had that whole ridgeline on fire right there, and it basically was just smoke, and it was engulfing all the homes you see on the right side of your screen, and those are the homes we were worried about. One has been lost, but you can tell the fire burned around that, and that's really because of helicopters and structure protection. That's the one home we lost. It's still smoldering, but it didn't spread to any other structures. Thank goodness, because that really could been catastrophic for this little neighborhood in here against this casual court right there at the end of the cul-de-sac right there. Actually, that one is Trickling Brook. But I want to open up and give you a shot now. If you're in, let's say, Agoura Hills, Thousand Oaks, Westlake Village, you're getting a lot of smoke right now. And you're really, I don't feel threatened by this fire, though. There's a lot of area in between the southern end of Simi Valley before you get over into that Oak Park area or you get down into Agoura Hills to the west of Calabasas. They're going to have to stop that, though, because that entire ridge line is going to go up at some point in time, and they really don't have anything in place yet to deal with that. So it's going to smolder for a long time. I believe they're going to be able to stop it on the top of the ridge line, but there's still a lot of fuel that's going to burn. But all those homes right in there have been saved, and boy, for a moment there, we thought they were going to lose a lot of them. So the helicopters have been outstanding. I think they might have 10 helicopters on this right now. That's just a guess on my part, looking at how quickly we're seeing them make a turnaround. But the Chinook is here, the other Sikorsky's here. A lot of Blackhawks are making drops, and they're significant. They drop a lot of water, and they make a big difference. So we're not out of the woods here, except for this one area, Simi. I think they got that pretty much controlled. But open up again just one time, Chad. That's the area I'm concerned about. It's just brush, but certainly it has to go somewhere before it's out, and you're getting a lot of that smoke, and it's going to head up and over the hill towards that area of Agoura Hills. I think they're going to be fine, but if you're in Agoura Hills or in that area, you certainly are getting a lot of smoke.
Okay. All right. Scott, thank you very much. Boy, you can really start to see how that smoke is going to affect other communities as it moves past this one, because, I mean, even as the danger moves away from some of these homes, you can still see how much fire is still going. So let's give you some of the areas that we're talking about, because we know it's in Simi Valley. And we've talked about Agoura Hills, we've talked about Thousand Oaks and the area. So this is where you're talking about. You see the 101 to the south, the 118 up there to the north, and we've shown you some of the evacuation orders and the warning. So this is the Sandy fire that we're talking about. And the 118, as you know, we're talking about 11:45 right now, but remember, rush hour traffic this afternoon might be affected by this simply, for no other reason, due to the smoke, because the 118 is going to get some of the smoke from this because it is not far away from the evacuation orders. Take a look at this. This is what we're talking about. And you can imagine with the smoke and where it is going, the red is the order. That is the evacuation order. And you can see it's not that far away. Los Angeles Avenue is just to the south of the 118. So you've seen that smoke. You might have a problem with smoke on the 118 freeway today. So again, be aware of that. Your evacuation warnings are the yellow, the red is the orders. So that is going to go into this afternoon. This fire is not going to be out immediately. So you're going to have an issue throughout the day. Right now, they are in structure protection mode. Once they can steer it away from the structures and protect the homes, then they will start to worry about putting this out and getting it away from Thousand Oaks, getting it away from Agoura Hills, and that is to be done later this afternoon. So the traffic impact might be this afternoon.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Philip. And again, we've been watching such incredible work done from the aerial assault team trying to get this fire under control. But we are learning in about 15 minutes or so, there's going to be a temporary evacuation point that's going to be opening up at Rancho Santa Susana Community Park. And if you are one of those people in the evacuation zone, you may know where this is, but it's at 5005 Los Angeles Avenue. That is in Simi Valley. So again, Rancho Santa Susana Community Park. And also we saw that there was equestrians. We see that there were large animals. If you do have a large animal, you need to take them to Ventura County Fairgrounds. That's at 10 East Harbor Boulevard. So there are 2 evacuation centers, one for large animals, one for the community. They are opening up. They're trying to get them open as soon as they can. So at noon, they will be opening, at least we know, the community, the Rancho Susana Community Park. It's
just, now it's just about the smoke. Let's get back out, not just about the smoke. Let's go back to Scott Reif again, just to take a look at this. And Scott, again, there's active fire. I mean, we're not out of the woods yet. And again, as we were talking about it, the structure protection has been so amazing. There's LA City fire out there. There's LA County fire, Ventura County fire. But as you can see from this, when it gets out into that brush and when it gets out into some of the open spaces, there's going to be a phase of this fire where it picks up again.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier we were out of the woods, but that's only for that area of Simi Valley. The homes that we were looking at, I think they're out of the woods. You can't see them from here. But as we continue, we're flying north and we're looking to the south and to the west. That's Simi Valley you see up there. But as we pan to the left, that's that ridge line I was talking about in there. Now, some of this is green, some of it's flashy fuel. But on the left side of your screen, I believe that's Oak Park, if I'm not mistaken. And it has a ways to go to get there, but they're going to have to try and protect that. And it wouldn't surprise me if they bring in tankers and they start making retardant drops on the southern portion of this fire to slow it down. You see some fire roads in there, but the immediate response was to save the homes in Simi Valley. Now it's burned south of Simi, south of those homes that we showed you earlier, and now it's burning up into this ridge line, and it's going to be difficult to stop it from spreading to the top of the hill. And once it gets up and over the hill, then it'll go down into that area of Thousand Oaks, and that certainly is a big concern right now. I think if you just pan left for me, Chad, with the camera and open up, you get an idea how it's really taking off up into this rugged terrain. And on the left side of your screen again, those homes you see out in that area, that is Thousand Oaks. So they're getting a lot of smoke. Now the battle is to stop the forest fire, basically. Earlier on, it was just everything they had to try and protect the homes and to save them. Now they sort of have another battle on their hands, and that is to try and stop the fire from spreading up and over the ridge into the Thousand Oaks area. I think they're going to need tankers for that. The helicopter's only so effective when a fire gets this big, and they can't really drop in that smoke, so the airplanes will drop around it and put the retardant drop on the area they think the fire is going to head to, and then once it gets into the brush, it pretty much just stalls out, and they can start to get a handle on it. That's going to be the strategy, I believe. So we're not out of the woods at all, that's for certain, except for that one area in Simi Valley. I think the folks who live in Simi, in those streets we were talking about on Turklebrook and Casual Court, I think they're okay. But now it's headed towards Thousand Oaks, and it could be a big deal later on in the afternoon.
Okay, Scott, you know, you mentioned Casual Court, so we've zoomed in on our touch map. This is Casual Court right here, and this is the space right in this spot where we actually lost one of those homes. But what I wanted to do is kind of take this opportunity to zoom out a little bit so that you can kind of take a look at what we were talking about. So this is your 118 up here, and this is our evacuation zone. And as Scott was mentioning, so this is now where we're talking about. Here is Agoura Hills down here. So this is the area that now what we're worried about. So when you start looking at this fire starting to burn, here's your space. So this Agoura Hills, Thousand Oaks, we don't want this thing getting past. This is the open space that we're worried about. And we were talking about burning southwest. So right in this space up here, Casual Court was where we lost that home. Here's the 118, and we're afraid as the afternoon progresses that we might start to burn across this open space down into the Thousand Oaks area. And again, that's the big concern, is getting out into that open space, really get into that brush. But you have all those air resources. We don't have the heavy winds today. So hopefully, as Brianna was saying, we might even have the winds start to die down this afternoon. So again, we just wanted to point out this was the area where we lost that one home. The fire is burning in this direction. Maybe we'll get a break with the winds this afternoon there, Colleen.
We certainly hope we can get a break from the winds. But boy, you know, as we started looking at the last images from Air 7, Philip, Scott was talking about it. It does look quite ominous, as you can see, that thick smoke. That's really, I mean, there's so much fuel and it's really feeding this fire. And now, Scott, you were talking about if you are living in Agoura or Thousand Oaks, you are getting concerned now that you are seeing the smoke coming over your ridge lines.
There's no question about that at all. All of a sudden, if you're in Thousand Oaks, if you're in Agoura, it'd be the western part of Agoura. I think for the most part, it's going to go west of Agoura. If you pan to the left, I'll try and give you a little perspective. And I believe they're going to be able to stop this fire in this ridge line unless the winds kick up, but they're not supposed to. But what it's going to do, it's going to take tankers to make those drops in there. But if we pan to the left, I want to give you some perspective, and keep panning left for me, if you would there, Chad. I believe that's Oak Park, so that's Thousand Oaks. That's Westlake Village, straight up towards the hills. Malibu up and over the hill, but Panel left a little bit more, and that gives you an idea. Agoura Hills is off to the left there. Thousand Oaks off to the right. So we'll come back and push into this shot. It looks like Agoura Hills is okay. Thousand Oaks, especially the western part of Thousand Oaks, that Oak Park area up into the hills, that's a huge concern. And you could tell there's medium brush here. It is flashy fuel as well as some medium brush. Some of it's green, but it's really drying out. And it's frightening to think we're having these types of fire in May. Just think what it might be like come September and October if we don't get any rain and then we get some really high winds. But it's frightening for those folks. There's no question they're seeing this big plume of smoke. They can smell the smoke right now, and it's headed towards like Westlake Village and that area of the northern portion of Thousand Oaks.
Okay, Scott, thanks. We want to bring in Brianna now because so we're looking at this. We saw the map, Brianna, where it's southwest. Is that the direction the wind is blowing as well? And you mentioned that the possibility of a break on the winds. What is that looking like?
Yes, so just in the next couple of hours, we'll start to see some of these differences. And so these winds are really going to back off. And we were talking about this morning. This Santa Ana, luckily, is pretty short-lived. We're already going to get out of this wind advisory criteria by this afternoon at about 3 o'clock. So we're going to start to notice these winds backing off here in the next 2 hours, maybe 3, but I think we'll really start to notice a difference at least in the next 1 to 2 hours with just those wind speeds dropping off. And then we'll be out of that criteria by the time we get into about 3 o'clock, it looks like. So yes, the wind is moving to the southwest. So whenever we have winds coming out of the northeast on these Santa Ana days, we always look at the communities that are southwest and downwind of that fire. So we've been pinpointing and looking at this area and some of the weather stations right around this area. Most of the wind speeds have been on the lighter side. This is not an extreme Santa Ana event, but this is such a good reminder as to what can happen on a day that we don't have a red flag warning in place here. We don't even have high wind watches or high wind warnings in place. This is just a wind advisory, which is the lowest level of a wind advisory or any sort of warning or anything issued by the National Weather Service that we could see, and already lost a structure. So this is a perfect reminder as to when we talk about still seeing elevated fire danger, we don't have red flag warnings in place, what could happen. Now we have winds just right around sustained, anywhere from 18 to 20 miles per hour, gusts up to about 37 to 38 miles per hour. So it doesn't look like we're hitting that 40 to 50 range. That was possible today in some of the mountain communities. It's near some of the ridgetops, canyons, passes, but it looks like we've been staying right around that 37, 38 mile per hour range over into the Simi area. Relative humidity also not in the single digits. We're still in the teens, which is good news. I mean, really, this could be worse, where we could be seeing extreme heat. We could be seeing really strong Santa Ana winds. And so we're grateful that we hopefully can start getting a good handle on this. But we've been talking about the communities and the streets that have been around this area. And I just wanted to zoom in on these spots because these are the areas and the neighborhoods that are just southwest of this fire. And so Scott's been doing a great job talking about this too. So we'll just show you again on this map, Trickling Brook Court, Hazel Ridge Court. These are some of the neighborhoods that we've been really looking toward. Casual Court, Rocking Horse as well. And so these are all that neighborhood right there. That's kind of, I would say, the most dangerous spot that would be downwind of that fire. And so this has been the area that we've really been keeping an eye on. As we pan out, what we've also been talking about is where we could see some smoke. And it's really going to be in any of these areas, Westlake Village, Thousand Oaks, Moore Park, Newberry Park. I could all be seeing, not Moore Park, I should say more so Newberry Park, Thousand Oaks, and then just like Scott said, west of Agoura Hills, maybe near Westlake Village, and all those spots right along that portion of the 101 as you start heading into more of Ventura County, heading through Newberry Park and getting closer toward the Camarillo area. So there's going to be a nice little stretch there where you could be getting some pretty smoky conditions today, but we're looking at this area mostly right around this orange color. And so that's where we look at right around that 30 mile per hour range. We could be seeing, and we've seen it before on strong, moderate, strong Santa Ana wind days, we see a little closer to the 50 mile per hour range in that area. So luckily this is a day that we are not seeing them as strong in this spot. But I want to show you what we are heading into in the next couple hours. If you just watch this timestamp here at the far right-hand corner, as we head into the next couple hours, we're really going to start to see these subside. As we head into closer to about 2 o'clock, we start to really see these wind speeds drop off into the 20s. And so hopefully this holds and we'll start to just get lower as we get into this afternoon. And then those wind advisories are set to expire because by that point, a lot of us will just be 15, 20 mile per hour winds and mostly just a breeze. 10, 20 considered a little more of a breeze, and then we start getting past that and we get a little closer to more windy weather. So it looks like things are going to really start to improve here really in the next hour, 2, 3 hours. And then we're not going to see much wind overnight tonight at all too. So a lot of factors working in our favor to try and get ahead of this. That wind advisory will expire just in a couple hours too at about 3 p.m. Again, gusts could get up to 40 to 50 today, but that's not the area where we've been seeing the strongest gusts. We've been seeing them stay right around 37, 38 miles per hour. But you'll notice our fuel's already drying out. This is why this is happening too. We have red flag warnings just north of us. So we've already been seeing these issued last week. As we headed into the weekend, and we're still seeing portions, a large portion of the inner part of the state here, interior sections, all the way from Kern County, Bakersfield through the Central Valley, Fresno, up into Sacramento, up into Chico. So a lot of us dealing with elevated fire danger, even if you're not in a red flag warning area. This is what could happen whenever we have even just a little bit of wind. This wasn't a whole lot of wind, but we had some wind today, and our fuel's already drying out, and our temperature's not too bad either. We're looking at areas mostly in the low mid 70s in that spot right now. So a lot of the valleys starting to warm up a bit more toward Ojai. So we're getting a couple degrees warmer, but we're not talking about incredible heat today too. So we also have that going in our favor. And so hopefully we could get a good handle on this. But again, those winds should be subsiding pretty quickly here in the next couple of hours. Philip, Colleen, I'll send it back to you.
Okay, Brianna, thank you. Another bit of good news on that. You're watching Eyewitness News at 11 a.m. And as we approach the noon hour, just let you know that this is going to become now a special edition of Eyewitness News. As we continue to cover this, we are going to carry us into the noon hour. This is the Sandy Fire, and we are in special coverage now. And I'm going to correct myself after having watched Brianna's coverage. It's not going to be the 118 that's going to have smoke effect on traffic, because that is to the north. It will probably be the 101 and maybe even the 23 possibly that is going to be affected traffic this afternoon because of this smoke with all of this fire. So I'm Philip Palmer along with Colleen Sullivan, Scott Reif. We have Sid Garcia, who is on his way to this fire, Brianna Ruffalo. So we are going to cover this Sandy Fire here. A lot of homes in the line of this fire if it continues to burn throughout the afternoon here.
Yeah, and a lot of anxious homeowners in communities looking at the smoke that's coming their way after probably watching the coverage, seeing that it sort of seems like it's not focusing, the energy of this fire is moving towards more going towards the Thousand Oaks, the Agora, the Westlake area. But again, you are looking at the area that is impacted. You can see the evacuation map. You can see mandatory evacuation area is red. The warnings is yellow. So heed these warnings. If you are in an area that you are seeing smoke and you know you're in an area that could have a high probability of seeing some flames because you're right up against these hillsides, put your car, back it into your driveway. Get the things that you truly hold valuable to yourselves, your animals, your medication. Just it's always good. This is always a good exercise, even if you do not need to evacuate. But if you have to, you want to be ready.
I want to bring Scott Reif in because, Scott, I'm wondering if the air assault on this is changing a bit. We saw a lot of helicopter drops, but now we're starting to see some fire retardant as it gets out into open space a bit here. Is that the change in tactics a little bit? Because you had mentioned earlier we hadn't seen much in the way of fixed wings and retardant drops, but now we're starting to see a little bit of that.
Yeah, definitely. That's going to be the strategy. I mean, initially they wanted to save those homes, and they did for the most part. I think they only lost one home, but there were hundreds of homes threatened in those areas of Simi Valley we've been talking about. The strategy is now to get these tankers to make drops outside of the fire itself and get it to stall. If we open up out of the shot and pan to the left, I think the hope is the fire will burn up this ridge line off to the left side of your screen. They'll be able to put some retardant down and then stop it from spreading up and over the hill towards the area we talked about, towards Thousand Oaks and towards Westlake Westlake Village. That's the area on the top of your screen. So the fire has a long way to go to get there. I don't think they're threatened at this point in time. I don't think we have the winds high enough to push the fire to that area, but it's the nature of the beast. You never know about these things, but now the tankers are making drops. They can ease off that area of Simi Valley that they had to hit so hard when they were worried about losing the homes, and they can start to concentrate their efforts into the brush. And then once they do that, if they can stop the fire on top of the ridge and the winds aren't too high, then more than likely they'd be able to stop it from heading up and over towards the 101. Boy, it would have a long way to go before it would really affect traffic on the 101. It'd have to burn all the way through Agoura Hills and Westlake Village, basically, and Thousand Oaks. So I don't think that will be an issue unless this thing really takes off, and the winds aren't forecast to do that. It won't affect the 118. It won't affect the 23. All the freeways, for the most part, are open. It is looking a bit better. It burned very rapidly up the ridge line. Now they're making the retardant drops. The winds appear to be steady around 20 miles an hour or so, and I think they're going to be able to handle this. You never know, but from my perspective right now, looking at it with the wind conditions we have and with the drops they're making, it's encouraging.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going to get some more insight from, joining us right now from Ventura County Fires, Andy Van Sciver. Mr. Van Sciver, thank you so much for joining us. What is your perspective on this fire? How do you think that the firefight is going, and what are the concerns heading into this afternoon?
Well, thank you, Colleen. Yes. So I'm on scene of the Sandy Brush Fire. It was measured by sensor aircraft about 184 acres. We're at 0% containment. We're lucky that we are making good progress. We have multiple air tankers that are starting to attack the fire from the air. We had about 200 personnel on scene, and I can tell from the smoke right now it's looking a lot better.
Do you have a number of structures lost? We did see one structure was lost. Was that a home, or do you have any details on that?
Yeah, Philip, I haven't seen that yet. I've heard that. I can't confirm it, or I don't know enough information about what that structure was.
Oh, and you know what? We were just talking with Scott Reif as well, Andy, and we were talking about sort of the air assault on this. We're now seeing fire retardant. Are you anticipating other like larger tankers coming in to help really put this fire out in those sort of deep crevasses of this canyon area?
Right. Excellent question, Colleen. So we have right now, I'm counted 3 air tankers. The tankers are the fixed-wing aircraft, the airplanes that are dropping the fire retardant, which is commonly called Phos-Chek. We have 5 helicopters on scene that drop between 1,000 and 3,000 gallons of water. Those are the ones that are going to be able to hit those hot spots deep in those canyons and allow our ground resources to go in and mop it up. So the air attack is overhead. That's the supervisor. We have air tankers, which are the fixed wings that are dropping the Phos-Chek ahead of the fire to slow it down, and our helicopters are dropping water on the hot spots to slow it down.
And Andy, if I could, I love talking about the Quick Reaction Force, the QRF. How quickly were you able to get them involved in this? Because having those big helicopters involved really can make such a huge difference in saving structures and really stopping something like this from just blowing up into something uncontrollable.
Correct. We have one of those aircraft stationed next to our air unit in Camarillo, so we were able to get that off the ground pretty quick and get here. We have both of our Firehawks on scene, and just being able to utilize aircraft early in the incident. As you mentioned, the winds are strong, but they're not too strong for our aircraft. That's one of the challenges with the Palisades and the Eaton fire. The wind was too strong for the air tankers and some of the helicopters. So we're in a good spot right now. We have multiple resources in the air, and they are making good work. As I said, we're really following it up with our ground teams, which is firefighters, hand crews, and we have bulldozers building containment lines around the fire.
Incredible work happening right there on the ground, and we're watching it. Andy Van Sciver from Ventura County Fire, thank you so much for taking time to talk to us, especially during this busy firefight that's happening right now. We also do have a crew on the way. We know that Sid Garcia, he's just arrived on the scene. Sid, thanks for joining our breaking coverage. What do you have right there?
I've got Ron Wexler, who's been living in this neighborhood for over 40 years now.
A little under 40.
A little under 40. That's your neighbor. So tell me what it was like earlier. It's windy, but you were telling me that it was
The wind was blowing so hard and steady. It wasn't just gust. It was solid wind that you couldn't stand here without being blown, moving around. And then when we saw the fire was down in the canyon, and it was quite a ways away, and it didn't take, but I'm going to say 5 minutes before it was here, you know.
Any damage to your house, or were the firefighters able to just contain it to just the one place?
Apparently contained it to the one house, and they were able to save the house next door to it. I mean, the fire was right 10 feet from the house next door.
You've been here for just under 40 years. This isn't your first fire. Were you prepared to go because you decided to stay and protect your house?
Well, I was somewhat prepared to go. I have a little pet dog that I have, so I put that in the truck with me. We went down below, checked out everything, came back up, and then I saw what was going on and decided I need to try to save it.
Family's okay. You sent them away.
Yeah, fortunately.
Are you feeling grateful, lucky, sense of relief? How? Because the winds have died.
Grateful and lucky. Yeah, and definitely relief. I mean, it was so powerful and so hot that you couldn't breathe. You know, it was just overwhelming.
It's part of living here. You just have to be prepared just in case something like this comes up from the canyon.
Well, I cleared the vegetation behind my place on the hill 4 times so far this year, because we cleared it, and then we had a late rain. It grew back up, cleared it, and then we had another rain in. So you got to stay on top of it all the time. You can't just wait.
So what do you do now? You're just going to stay here and just wait for things to calm down because the winds are dying down.
Yeah. No, we'll keep an eye on everything. There's on this street, it's a great neighborhood. Everybody watches out, you know, for each other. And the minute something's going on, everybody's out here checking on you and stuff.
A lot of animals. This is horse country right up here. As far as your neighbors were concerned, what you saw, were they able to get the animals?
Fortunately, a lot of them already had them out of here. But then we have trailers set up to haul the minute something starts taking place. So we don't wait, hope it's not going to come. We're pretty sure it's coming.
What time this morning did you notice the flames were coming up the canyon? When did it all start?
I want to say it was like probably 9:30, thereabouts.
That early?
Yeah.
What were you doing at the time?
I was actually watching the news on TV, and we have a neighborhood phone connection, and one of the neighbors said there's smoke, and then went outside, and
you got
that was it.
I'm glad your home is okay. Thank you very much for time. Juan Wexler here, longtime resident. The winds, as Brianna had been telling us, have died down. As Mr. Wexler told us, they were blowing pretty strong a couple of hours ago, 2.5 hours ago. Firefighters were able to contain the blaze to just that one property at the end of the cul-de-sac. Everyone else, home-wise, is okay, but there's still some wind. There's still a lot of smoke up here. So, and a lot of folks are just staying behind to make sure their houses are going to remain okay. Let's send it back to you in the studio.
Okay, Sid.
Have a good day.
You too, Mr. Thank
To
you.
Mr. Wexler, thank you, and we hope he has a good day as well. And Mr. Wexler was talking about clearing brush.
Yeah.
We are just getting word. We got an update from the Simi Valley Police PIO, and they are saying that at 10:17 this morning, Simi Valley PD received a call from somebody who said they were clearing brush with a tractor, hit a rock, and ignited the fire. So the police department cannot confirm this is indeed what started the fire, but it is a possible position based on that particular phone call. So again, someone, if this is correct, at 10:17, potentially trying to do the right thing. And Mr. Wexler was there talking about, you know, people had been out trying to clear brush and do the right thing given where we are right now. And we just talked with LA City Fire Chief Jamie Moore last week about people needing to clear the brush this time of year. And somebody was potentially, again, 10:17, Simi Valley PD received a call, someone trying to do that, and we are constantly telling people to be careful and cautious about this. They might have actually struck a rock and started the fire, which would be horrible, but you know, an innocent mistake might have caused this.
Yeah, well, I think it brings a lot of people, if, you know, people who are in Santa Barbara County who are watching. That's what started the Jesucita fire. I think that was in 2009. People who were clearing the Jesucita trail. They were just, you're trying to do something good, but you're using an electric kind of edging thing, and you struck a rock, and it is very, it's stressful.
It's also one of those things, though, I think I wanted to make sure that we tell people that, because arson is the first thing that always comes to mind with something like this, and I want people to understand that it's not always arson. Sometimes it's an innocent mistake, and just wanted to pass that along to people, that in this circumstance, we hope that it might have just simply been a mistake, somebody clearing brush. Scott Rife is up in Air 7. He has a little bit of fuel left before he has to go. Just want to get kind of some last perspectives of him before he has to go and refuel. And again, Scott, we just heard from Ventura County Fire, Andy Van Sciver, who says that, you know, they're pretty comfortable with where things are. What are you seeing from your perspective?
I think for the most part the same, Philip. Tilt up a little bit. There's like two aspects of this fire. You see the flashy brush, and you can tell, as you mentioned, a tractor trying to clear this area. That's the kind of brush you've got to get cleared, and it takes off so quickly. That's on the Simi Valley side. That would be the northern end of the fire, and you can tell how quickly that burns, but they have structure protection in place. And then you have the southern portion of the fire, which is down along this ridge line. The hope right now is it burns pretty hot up the hill with the wind. It always burns faster uphill. It's a terrain-driven fire for the most part. Open up and pan to the left. And the strategy and the hope is that it stalls out right in that area right there, just to the left side of your screen. It's sort of the way you see it is it's not as close to those homes in Simi Valley as it looks, just the perspective and the way it's shot. But this area right here is what they really need to concentrate on. They want to make sure it doesn't double back towards Simi Valley. We're not expecting higher winds, so I really think it's encouraging what we're seeing. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't think this fire is going to be able to go up and over the ridge line down into Thousand Oaks. It's possible, but it doesn't seem like it has that type of head to it or that type of movement. And they do have the tankers in here already. They're really going to make a much bigger effect on the the southern edge of the fire, the edge you're looking at right now. That'll be what the tankers do with the retardant drops. The helicopters are much more successful. We're getting that flashy brush down from burning the home. So it looks pretty good right now, but you know, you covered enough of these fires, you know that it can change in a moment's notice. It's pretty difficult to try and judge exactly what it'll do, but it looks pretty good right now.
Yeah, absolutely, Scott. Thank you so much for that live report. Okay, we are going to talk to Danny, because Danny, we know weather plays a very big role in firefighting, and we're talking about the winds. They haven't been something crazy to worry about, but again, enough where you heard Mr. Wexler during Sid Garcia saying it was a constant strong wind. Yeah, see, that's the tough part about this is those constant winds. Although they're just at advisory level and starting to level off somewhat there, they are still going to be a concern because it just keeps blowing. And then those gusts that come up when they get going. So right now, just to give you an idea of kind of where things stand, the Sandy fire is called northeast winds. Again, this is that Santa Ana profile. Winds out of the northeast blowing across that fire, driving the smoke, as you mentioned, in this direction towards the homes. But for right there, that fire area, we're seeing it just being right now the winds northeast 20 miles per hour. So that's going to be just barely below the advisory level. Now the winds are in that 25, 35, 40 mile per hour range to keep that wind advisory in place. That's going down about 3 p.m. this afternoon as scheduled right now. However, that can change. But the idea is being in those fire zones, of course, they kind of create their own wind. So that certainly makes it a constant wind blowing event. No matter what those wind speeds are showing up on our graphs and on the weather reporting stations, within that fire zone, man, things get really, really kind of hairy. It's very dry, 15% relative humidity. So that's another factor. All the brush around there, although as Philip, as you mentioned, people trying to clear and get stuff out of there as well, they should. It's just dry anyway. So what's there is going to kind of add fuel. So as we see where those homes are in reference to where the fire is, it is exactly in that area where you're going to those winds out of the northeast blowing right across here. So at the very least, the smoke is being driven that way. We're, of course, with the great firefighters out there trying to keep the flames from moving that way as well. But this kind of the zone to watch here, looking for the next few hours or so to see how these areas are impacted with the smoke. Also, of course, with the fire itself as it moves. We see that kind of just tracking this way, and we'll kind of be watching these zones here, especially here over the next few hours as those winds, again, they're in that advisory level, 30, 40 mile per hour winds, the occasional gust in that 45 mile per hour range, which are pretty strong winds as is. However,
As they start to subside, as that advisory goes down, at this point, scheduled till 3 p.m., we're going to keep watching, because even then, once they get the low advisory level, there's still going to be 25, 30-mile-per-hour winds in that zone, and that certainly, with the fire going, will be a concern. All right, Philip, Colleen, go ahead.
Okay, Danny, thank you very much. And again, this fire over 180 acres, and you can see that even though the progress is positive, that from Ventura County Fire, it's still, based off of this shot here from Air 7, a risk. I mean, you still see the danger to the communities, because that fire is right in someone's backyard.
Absolutely, Philip. And I'm seeing, I'm not sure if that's a person there, but earlier Air 7 had an image of somebody, of somebody using their shovel, just trying to be their own hand crew right there.
But it is an example of defensible space. I mean, you have a significant area here of walkway, dirt, path. And again, this is not the kind of brush that's going to be throwing massive timbers. It's also not the type of wind, as Danny was just talking about, that's really blowing a lot. And, you know, you also have access to fire crews there if they needed to get into that space. So you have, you know, ground crews there. You have structure protection in place, but it's still very uneasy for the families who live there and that are in that neighborhood. And you have active fire within 100 yards of your home. That's always going to be very unsettling.
No, but you know, it just shows you though that sort of fire break, those are so helpful to have it right up against your home, to have that really true clear space. You can see though, there are firefighters down there. You saw them driving out to the scene. So I think they're obviously heading out over to this area, because, you know, when the smoke starts to clear, you do start seeing all the different little hot spots and the flare-ups. And this would make me a little too close for comfort if that were my house right there.
And you can also point out, again, the type of landscaping that is in the backyard of so many of these homes. Yes, you do see the palm tree there, but notice how far away that palm tree is from the home. If you're going to have a home in a neighborhood like this, notice the landscaping is so far away from the home. See the xeriscape that is next to the pool out by the fencing. All the shrubbery is out by their fence, and then you have the landscape, the xeriscape even beyond that. So that's what, so many people who live in an area like this take such great precaution to make sure that there's not combustible material next to the home. And that is, so many people have started to build with intent to make sure that their home is protected in the event of a fire. And you can see how valuable that is in a moment like this, because that fire, that we watched it right there. You just saw fire burn right up to that space, and now you see the smoke, the white smoke, as it just burns itself out, because there's no more fuel as it gets near the home. Doesn't make it any less unsettling, but you see it worked.
No, and you're talking about lessons learned, I think, because so many of us have been impacted by these fires, and we see them and you think, okay. And, you know, the counties, they've really become much stricter with trying to get people to do defensible spacing around their homes, and people are doing it. You don't need to see so many fires happening in Southern California to say, you know what, I'm in an area that is under threat, and I'm going to have to do everything I can to protect my property. Again, the firefighters were going out there, but it must be very hard to get a fire line, because you see the hose there, but it obviously needs to attach to something.
Well, and again, this is a live look from Air 7. You actually saw one of those quick response, the Chinook that just went through us here, and they're not gonna drop on every single piece of fire they see. I don't know why they're dragging that bush away. No, that's a resident, but the Chinook is not going to drag, or they're going to drop water on everything. They're going to drop it on stuff that's most important. I'm trying to wonder why. I guess he's putting that in an area that's already burned, so that's important. But this is a live look. They're going to drop on the risky areas. That is a space. If you look, there's not a lot to burn there. It's burned into, that's grass. it's burning in a space that is probably okay. But
right. And
you know,
right
it's
there, Philip. That's a different. But at least there's still that break right there. But still,
that's got some trees there. That would be one of the areas that the firefighters will take a look at. And if it starts to get approaching there, they have the Chinook, they have the helicopters are the things that can take a look at that. The attention for the fire retardant is out in the area as it approaches Agoura Hills and Thousand Oaks, and they're going to try to get a line around there. They've got so many resources here. They still have 200 firefighters on the ground. Here you go.
Right.
You have one of those Chinooks that's right there. They can drop so much water with such precision if they need to get it right on that space.
Yeah, I do look at that. That homeowner right there, it's got to have some anxiousness going on within themselves because they're sort of surrounded, but a very kind of little surround. Hopefully they get that out. Sid Garcia, you are on the ground. You arrived there pretty quickly. And let's talk about what you're seeing there, because I can see behind you that structure is almost completely smolded out.
Yeah, the Ventura County Fire is up here right now, and they're concentrating the water on the house on the cul-de-sac here. Let me step out of the way and show you what we're talking about here right now. The house gone. But what firefighters were able to do is contain the blaze to that structure right there. The house is to the right of your screen. They're going to smell later because of the smoke, but they're still intact. We had a chance to talk to some neighbors here who are very grateful with the work that the firefighters were able to take care of. And the one thing we learned here today is how tight this neighborhood is, and the neighbors, how they keep an eye out for each other, because this is fire hazardous country up here. When the winds are blowing and it's warm, they know that the fire danger will go up. We had a chance to talk to some of the neighbors around here. Here's what they had to say about just taking care of their property and each other. Take a listen. Jeannie, when did you notice that something was happening?
I was inside cleaning the house, and I opened the slider to take trash outside, and ashes, and it just came very fast. This one is faster than usual.
How long you been living here now?
38 years.
Have you ever seen it come up that fast before?
One time, about 2 decades ago, but not quite this bad. But this is the second time that we've emptied drawers in the safe and moved our RV and the horse. It's the first time we've done that.
Evacuation orders, but you and your neighbor, you opted to stay.
Well, we're surrounded by firemen, married to retired firemen. There's a lot of people on the block that are knowledgeable that I trust.
Katie, let me ask you, how's the house? And when did you notice things were starting to get crazy up here?
So at 10:15, my husband and I were leaving, and he is retired fire department, so he instantly smelled fire. We went to the cul-de-sac end, and you could see it. We knew the winds were blowing our way. We know up canyon. We knew that was a bad scenario, so we were able to kind of get in place, and we got a rapid response from fire department. They were amazing. Yep. And we kind of stuck it out. Thankfully, this is an animal neighborhood. This is an equestrian neighborhood. Thankfully, my animals were already somewhere else because I'm leaving town tomorrow. So that allowed me to kind of be more free to help. Her horse got evacuated down the street. So we're animal people up here. We think of them first. And thankfully, all the animals, dogs, everybody's out on our cul-de-sac and got out.
I'm getting the sense that everybody here, this community, when something like this happens, it's like it's helping everybody out, all hands on deck.
We're a very tight community up here. We've been here 20 years. Everybody else is even longer. This cul-de-sac, especially Trickling Brook, is super special. We've got a group text that the first text went out at 10:16. There's a fire. This neighborhood, everybody supports everybody.
Let me ask you the same thing. How important was it that everybody knows their neighbors and what their needs are, just making sure everybody was going to be okay, including the animals?
Yeah, it's vital, which is why we started this whole group thread for just our street, to keep everyone informed. We've got some new people on the street who have not been through this before. So we've had other smoke, like in the last couple of years, but we told them it's okay, it's blowing that way. This one, we got on and said, okay, pack, get out.
it's nice when your neighbors know each other, and that's been really, really important. Now, as we were driving up here, we passed by a middle school. There was a long line of parents waiting to pick up their children. The middle school was being evacuated. Same thing with an elementary school that was down the street. Now again, Ventura County Fire is who we see up here right now. They contained the blaze to just the house you see at the top of the cul-de-sac. They were able to save the rest of the homes on this block. One of the neighbors told us that the winds were blowing pretty good when this fire started. Right now, things are a lot calmer. It's still breezy. You can tell by the trees around here, it's still breezy. But when you see firefighters walking around here breathing a little easier, that means they've got the upper hand, at least in this part right now. Again, there's wind, but it's not as strong as neighbors were telling us earlier today. And the one thing I think to stress is get to know your neighbor, especially in hazardous areas where there's a potential for fire. Everybody here knew what everybody had and helped each other get out of here safely, with the exception of those who stayed behind to protect their homes. It was just a well-choreographed evacuation as folks took care of their animals, the horses, the kids, the elderly, got everybody out safely. Those who stayed back wanted to make sure that their homes were still standing. But firefighters up here did a really good job in containing it. This fire to just that one house, sadly, it's gone, but every other house on this block is still standing. Let's send it back to you in the studio.
Sid, before you go, were you able to, I mean, that house at some level looked a little bit different. Was it an actual home? I mean, it was very far at the end of the cul-de-sac. I mean, was there anything different about that home than some of the other ones?
Actually, when you look at it, the canyon comes up right behind the house. Let me step out of the way there, and the fire just came up. And honestly, it's just the first house at the end of the cul-de-sac, and that's the one that got caught on fire and was destroyed. To the left, it's you've got some RVs. Those don't seem to be touched. So, yeah.
So nothing.
This was the first house on the cul-de-sac.
Yeah. So nothing really to set it apart. I mean, we see a bunch of extra cars there, but it just happened to be first in the line.
First in the line as the fire came up the canyon, there was the first one there, and sadly it's destroyed, as you can see, but the firefighters were able to keep it contained just to this one piece of property at the end of the cul-de-sac. Every other house behind you, and there's a few dozen homes here, still standing.
Okay. Hey, Sid, thank you very much. And from Sid's report, we actually are able to really contrast and compare from Air 7's shot there as well, so you could really kind of see the two at once. But yeah, it really is unfortunate because, you know, there is survivor's guilt in many cases for the families that are all around there, because they're going to know that neighbor, and for one person to lose their home and then for everybody else to be there and know that person so intimately. As Sid was saying, they all knew each other. For one of their neighbors to lose the home, it's just a really difficult thing for a neighborhood to have to go through.
I know, and he was talking with just his two interviews. You know, the one woman's there 38 years, the one gentleman's there probably 40, 39 years. He's like just almost 40. So this is a long, you know, a long established neighborhood. So you know they probably watch each other's houses. They lean on each other. As we're watching the Sandy fire, we're seeing images from Air 7. You see these slight little breaks that are along these ridge lines, but they're going to have to get some FOS check on that.
Well, this is a great example. Ridges, rivers, and roads. This is what we're looking at, because this is another ridge that they're really using as an example to try to stop this fire. And as you mentioned, there's another example of it creating its own weather. You see those little fire tornadoes as they work their way through. But we've seen the fire retardant as they tried to create some sort of line of containment. We did talk to Ventura County Fire. We saw with Andy from the Ventura County Fire Department, who had mentioned that, you know, there was no actual line of containment at this point. Andy Van Sciver, they had zero containment, but they're getting there. They don't like to get give containment numbers at this point, but when the reason they say that is when they start to actually form between bulldozers, between retardant, where they actually put a line around it. But when you have ridges, rivers, and roads, that's the line of containment, and they've started to do that ever so slightly between the retardant and these ridges. They're really working to try to get a line of containment around the Sandy fire.
Yeah, they certainly are. When we do see that the fire has jumped part of that ridge. Danny Romero, you're joining us with our coverage again to sort of give us an insight on some of the wind speeds, because as Philip just noticed, and you could see it there, the fire does create its own, activity in energy, and you do see those little fire nados. I don't know what we actually call them.
Yeah, that's one way to describe them. And we certainly, two things. The sustained winds that we have right now, according to the stations that we have, the reporting stations, are in that advisory level, and kind of just barely in that lower rung of that 20, 30 mile per hour winds, the gusts up to 40, maybe like a 45 mile per hour gust here or there in that fire zone. It doesn't take much, though, with fire burning like this, with the very dry conditions. So like right now, we're seeing those winds right there in that 20 mile per hour category, sustained, with those gusts going up to close to 40 miles per hour. Very dry, relative humidity at 15%. So all those factors, except for those really strong wind numbers, aren't totally frightening for people, but it's certainly because there are some winds, because they are at the advisory level. We've got to keep an eye on that, because again, things kind of ramp up there in that fire zone. Now, of course, we're watching to the south and west of that fire zone, because that's where the wind is blowing. So certainly it's blowing the smoke there over these areas, the inhabited areas right here we're showing you. And of course, the chance of the fire moving that way, being pushed by the winds. Of course, firefighters out there doing their best to stop that, and we applaud them for doing that. But we're watching how this will progress as far as the smoke concerned towards these areas. So there's still a lot of homes there. You saw that we had a lot of homes to the north of that fire zone. So that's good news for those spots. But these ones here, they're going to be of concern, certainly for the smoke inhalation. Now, just giving you an idea how those winds are blowing right now. We can see that the areas here that we're going to look towards where they're going, down around Westlake Village, around Agoura, Thousand Oaks. We're seeing Brent's Junction. We've seen Hot Springs, all part of that path where things would be of concern. Folks there should kind of watch out. Now, here's an idea how the winds are going right now. We're seeing, again, right around that fire zone, 37 mile per hour winds right there in Simi Valley. The stronger winds there in the red and the orange indicates those stronger winds that are moving in those spots, and it's kind of right there in that fire zone, feeding in with that northeast Santa Ana profile. So that's going to continue here for the next few hours, subsiding at least below advisory level at 3 p.m. this afternoon. At least that's what's scheduled right now. Of course, we're going to constantly check to see if we have to update it or not. But right now, we're going to see those winds right here this afternoon. That's where we're seeing the really strong winds, right there in that kind of red-orange kind of category. Now, looking ahead, we're going to see these winds, I said, dying down. So we're seeing now, moving forward to, like I say, 11:30 or so, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Now you see less of that red and orange area, meaning the winds now are subsiding. Look ahead again on these forecast models. So by this afternoon, now we're seeing pretty much absent any of that red, orange, the stronger winds. Now we're back down to kind of more milder winds, all below about 25 miles per hour. These are still, again, any kind of winds are going to be concerned to firefighters, because any winds at all drive and push that fire, and those embers. The embers also of the rigs, they just kind of pick up and just moved along to miles away, as we've seen before. So looking ahead now to 4:45, 5 p.m., we'll see those winds start to really die down. And then look at this. By tomorrow morning, pretty much gone overnight, early morning hours. And then again, right about this same time or so tomorrow afternoon, we're back in that kind of mild, breezy kind of category. So looking forward, we're on the downside of this wind event. That, good news for the firefighters right now. All right, Philip, call me. Go ahead.
Okay, Danny, thank you very much. And we do have some breaking news we want to get to. If we are going to go to that video, this is out of San Diego. We have breaking news out of San Diego here. We want to alert you to this. There are reports of a shooting at the Islamic Center of San Diego. There is an active shooter report there. Again, this is video from just a few moments ago. Police are asking people to avoid that area completely. This is happening just east of Mission Bay. It appears there's at least one casualty. We are working to get more information on this. Now, there also might be a special report from ABC News. If that happens, we're going to bring that to you. We'll keep the images of the fire in Simi Valley on the screen. Again, this is a report of a shooting at an Islamic Center of San Diego, which is Claremont, 20 minutes north of downtown. Now, one of the things that we're going to tell you about as well, if you have plans or you know of somebody that might be going to San Diego today, the Dodgers are playing in San Diego. Petco Field is in downtown San Diego. Claremont is 20 minutes north of downtown. So just to give you an idea, if you know of someone who might be traveling to San Diego, possibly to go to the Dodger game, understand that there is now breaking news in San Diego. Reports of an active shooter. People are asked to avoid the area. This is in Claremont, again, 20 minutes north of downtown. If ABC News has a special report, again, we will bring that to you. Keep the images of the fire in Simi Valley on the screen so you can see a very heavy police presence after reports of an active shooter at this Islamic Center.
Such sad images coming out of San Diego. You see the little kids walking hand in hand. Just terrible to see. We are staying on our breaking coverage of the Sandy fire as well. We do know that the Reagan Library just closed, and they did say that per their chief of staff, they are not in the path or near the fire, but because the roads are closed in the area that they decided to close. So if for some reason you have plans to go to the Reagan Library, you might have to rearrange your plans because it's closed, because the roads leading up to the library are closed right now, despite them not being the path of the fire.
And you also saw another helicopter drop, LA County fire there. Again, we have LA County fire, you have Ventura County involved in this, you have LA City fire. You also have what we've talked about it, the quick reaction force. Those helicopters can fly in, they can actually drop fire retardant and they can drop water. We've been watching them primarily drop water because what they've been doing is the fixed wing aircraft are out in the open space, really trying to put retardant down in front of the fire to slow it as it heads in the direction of Thousand Oaks, Agoura Hills, because it is moving south-southwest. They want to stop it well in advance of the areas that would put more homes at risk, but they do have these hot spots still up in the Simi Valley area. So this has gotten into pretty large fire. We say 180 plus acres. It is a large fire. Evacuation orders are in the red that you see there. The warning is probably a little bigger than the yellow that you see here now because the space, it has moved south-southwest. So you need to be aware if you're in the Thousand Oaks and Agoura Hills area.
Yeah, and speaking of going back, talking about the firefight that's still happening in Simi Valley, Sid Garcia is there right in front of, obviously, engines. And Sid, what do you have for us from where you are?
Well, I can tell you right before we went on the air about 30 seconds ago, the wind started to pick up. Dave, our photographer, I'm going to step out of the way here. A huge effort was concentrated at the house at the end of the cul-de-sac here. That is the one that was lost. And Philip, you were asking me earlier during the broadcast, on the other side of the cars there, it's pretty much the canyon. The fire just came up the hill. All right, so firefighters were able to contain it to right there. I had a chance to talk to some neighbors. This is where knowing your neighbor and knowing what they have really helped out. Even though the folks were told to evacuate, some stayed behind. This is horse country. So in coordinating the evacuation of the horses, smaller animals, and people, neighbors were able to basically get on their text chains or group texts and let everybody know, hey, it's time to evacuate. Some of the neighbors we were talking to today were telling us it's about 9:30, 9:45 when they noticed the smoke, and that's when they started contacting their neighbors. Hey, it is time to get ready to evacuate and get out of here. Some did. We were talking to one guy who was able to basically pack his family, get them out of here, and he stayed behind to protect his house. He lives a couple of doors away from the home that was destroyed. A couple of ladies we had a chance to talk to were telling me they live down the street. They've been living here for a few decades now. They were helping their new neighbors who just moved into the neighborhood, say, a couple of years ago, getting them ready just in case of a fire like this breaking out. So when it happened earlier today, their new neighbors knew exactly what they needed to have and to safely evacuate out of the neighborhood. Again, we're at the top of this cul-de-sac. That is the only home that was destroyed. All the other homes here, a couple of dozen easily, are still intact, are still standing. But the wind is starting to pick up here a little bit. We're starting to feel it. It had died down for a little while, but then now it's starting to pick up. One of the residents was telling me at the time the fire broke out, he says the winds were so strong it could push you over. They weren't gusts, they were a consistent, strong wind blowing through the Simi Valley neighborhood. There are still a couple of fire engines here, structure protection, making sure everything is okay. But so far, so good here, guys. Fire limited to or contained just to that one house here on the cul-de-sac, and everything else, the smoke is clearing. But the concern is, guys, the wind's starting to pick up again, and that's not good news. But again, you know, fingers crossed that no more damage is done. But the wind here is starting to pick up within the past couple of minutes before you guys took us here in this neighborhood. Let's send it back to you.
Okay, Sid, thanks. It does appear as if some of the firefighters are starting to roll up some of their gear. I don't know if are they maybe getting ready to move to a different location, or are they just being cautious?
Let's say all of the above. The firefight here with this house is pretty much over.
Okay.
All right. So they're packing stuff up, but there's still a heavy hose pointed towards the home. There's still some flame coming out in little spots in the house, so that the work isn't done here. But while they have a break where things are pretty much under control, they'll start putting gear away so they're ready to go to the next hotspot, wherever that's going to be. But you know what? These guys are pros. The fact that they were able to contain it to this one structure, neighbors were telling us, they were watching them, they're so grateful and thankful of the quick response and how the firefighters were able to pretty much save their neighborhood. Sadly, of course, the one neighbor lost their home, but right now it's there's still a couple of flames I can see from where we are, but there's still a lot of work to do to protect the neighborhoods.
Okay. All right, Sid. Thank you very much. Yeah, I guess that is the thing. If I'm not using it, might as well put it away. Yeah. Be ready to use it someplace else. Okay, Sid, thank you very much. The winds, you know, they don't go away quietly, Danny. They are here. I guess what, about 3 o'clock is when we're probably going to start to see them.
Right. That's
finally dissipate.
At least get below that advisory level, but that means winds will still be there. You see, the winds are going to still be there, even though if they get below that 35-mile-per-hour range as far as steady winds are concerned, getting below advisory level. Still going to be those 25 to 20-mile-per-hour winds, and then within those occasional gusts that could ramp up to that 35, 40, 45-mile-per-hour range. So what we're seeing there, two things are happening. The sustained winds now we're looking at for this fire, we're seeing that 20-mile-per-hour winds, those are the sustained winds. Then those gusts come up, approaching 40 miles per hour, that will blow through very quickly and then subside and then blow through again. That could be what Sid is experiencing there. And also something else looking ahead a bit. As we head towards the end of the day, after 3 p.m., that advisory is scheduled to go down, and that might hold. However, we now approach sunset. We get those sundowner winds kicking up, and especially in these valley areas, we could see another pickup of those winds, brief as it might be, and certainly of concern to the firefighters out there, because now that could amplify what's been kind of patted down somewhat, could kind of kick up again. So kind of keep an eye on that. So as you watch the areas that are kind of in that path of at least the smoke and those winds, northeast profile, Santa Ana winds, so south and west of that fire zone is where the concern is. So we're going to keep watching that here through the afternoon hours ahead of it. So now looking ahead on our model showing how the winds will increase and decrease through the afternoon hours into tonight, into tomorrow. So here's that model showing you that. So this afternoon, there's the stronger winds, the oranges, the reds, right there in that fire zone. And you see everybody else pretty mild in that blue range, you know, so it's well below 10 miles per hour. But those areas up here, that's going to still be your yellows, your oranges, your reds. Those are those strong 30, 40 mile per hour winds. But look at this. We now get towards later on this afternoon, approaching 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Now we're seeing the winds pretty much an absence of any kind of that yellow and orange range as far as the sustained winds. So that means we're seeing the winds start to die down early morning hours, kind of no winds at all. Then again, right around this same time tomorrow, back to those kind of breezy conditions in that, again, general area of those fire zones. But you see a lot of those canyons too kind of amplify the winds. You get those winds kind of squish between the canyons. They kind of amplify out. And so that kind of kicks up those wind speeds as well on our model. So we're kind of watching that, keep that in mind, how it's kind of setting up. Now, that in mind for now, here's how this is going. The wind advisory that we're talking about right now with those gusts of 40, 50 miles per hour are starting to die down because that advisory goes away at 3 p.m. this afternoon. Again, for now. So we're going to still watch the areas, which is right there where the fire zone is. So this is going to still be a concern here for another couple of hours. And then beyond that, we'll kind of see how it sets up. Now, to the north, just something to watch. There is a red flag warning up around Fresno, Bakersfield, up towards central California. This area there, very, very dry conditions, winds there as well. But that's way to north. Just something to mention to you, just kind of show you where that is. But for us here, it's going to be all about how those winds are shaping up and that wind advisory in play now at this point until 3 p.m. All right, Colleen, Philip, it's yours.
All right, Danny, thank you so much for that. Well, we are still following breaking news out of San Diego. Police there at the Islamic Center of San Diego and Claremont for reports of an active shooter. These are images. They're just heartbreaking. The video is from just moments ago. Police are asking people to avoid this area. This is happening just east of Mission Bay, about 20 minutes north of downtown San Diego, and it appears there is at least one casualty. And we are now being told that Governor Newsom has been briefed and his Office of Emergency Services is coordinating with local law enforcement. The mayor of San Diego is also being briefed. We are working to get as much information as we can. We might get a special report from ABC News, and if that does actually happen, we will bring it to you. But we will also keep the images of the fire in Simi Valley on the screen as well. But again, we are following reports. This is out of San Diego as we continue our live extended coverage of the Sandy fire in Simi Valley.
Just daunting to see that many law enforcement officers down there. And now we're going back to the brush fire, and we've seen fixed wing aircraft. We see another helicopter there. And again, this is where there's one of the Chinooks. We're just seeing them really, the helicopters working on those hot spots in Simi Valley. When we see the fixed wing, they're generally going out into the open space where they're really trying to get the fire retardant out at the head of the fire to stop its advance as it heads south-southwest into the Agoura Hills, Thousand Oaks direction, because they just don't want it going any further into the areas that might put more structure at risk. But it's still a danger to the areas in Simi Valley, because those hot spots, if it gets into one of those neighborhoods, it causes more problems. And as Danny was mentioning, just because the winds are going to drop down below the advisory level, that doesn't mean it's not windy in that area. Still can't push out into some of that brush, some of those shrubberies. But there you go. There's one of your fixed wing craft that could potentially drop a massive amount of Phos-Chek. So we've seen those little spotter planes go out in front. They'll go the direction that you want it. And there's the massive drop. The big one. That's the one that can make the big difference in really slowing the advance of that fire. That's what you really want to see as it heads towards the afternoon. That's what can really slow it down.
Yeah, Scott was talking about that, expecting to see something like that, dropping the Phos-Chek. As we were talking, I guess about an hour ago, to Ventura County Fire, Andy Van Sciver, he was telling us that they were using their helicopters, their fixed wings, and the helicopters, they can drop to 1,000 to 3,000 gallons of water. So they really are focusing so heavily on this area, and they are making a big difference, Philip.
Well, now that's right there. That helicopter can actually drop Phos-Chek as well if they wanted it to. Today has been dropping water, but if they needed it to, it's also one of the helicopters that can fly at night.
Yes.
And in heavy wind. So the good news is they have multiples that can fly out of San Diego County, Ventura County, LA County. So they really attack it. It's called the Quick Reaction Force. So they can bring them from multiple counties to keep these fires from really spreading. It's a coordinated effort, and it just allows these counties to keep these fires from becoming these massive fires. I mean, can you imagine what would happen if Ventura County was only using their resources for a fire like this? And so LA County, Ventura County, City Fire is there. LA City Fire came up and helped today. So when you start to really work together as Southern California instead of just cities and counties, you can really protect a lot of communities more efficiently. And they're really working together today, and you can just see how much of a difference it made.
Very well choreographed. It's incredible to see. I mean, we do talk about it each time we see these firefights, because they're always fought differently because of different time of day, night. You know, for a long time we didn't have resources to even fight fires from the air at night. So it's incredible the technology that has happened. I know we're sort of searching in this little area because you can see the spots that are still burning and causing some concern for firefighters out here. Well,
and you see active flame right there in just to the bottom left of your screen. And so that's the type of fire that the helicopters can really get in, and you can quickly get to those. You can fill it up, get over there and put it on there. But it's also burning away from the structures. You have a roadway that is serving as a block. You've got some of the limited amount of brush there, even if it is able to jump that road. So you have some defensible space there, but you eventually want all of that out. It's going to be a situation where you're going to have to get ground crews on top of it. But this is the area that structures are still at risk. So that's going to be your focus for the people in Simi Valley. As we mentioned a moment ago, your fixed wing are out there in the open space. Let's see if we've got another water drop right here. There we go. And that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get that space out. Yep. Then you'll get your hand crews in there to really make sure that those smoldering hot spots get out completely and the homes are safe on the weeks ahead of us.
Absolutely hit their target. It's just incredible how well they know their job, and they do such a good job doing it. And again, we don't see as many people right now, Philip, or at least I don't see as many. But a while ago, we kept seeing homeowners with their shovels and trying to put out little spots. So you can see the firefighters here, massive structure protection happening. But again, we can see that you can see several of the firefighters right there
on another drop.
Scene. Yeah, they're trying to hit this one and get it out. Okay.
Well, Sid Garcia is in Simi Valley again at the location where a home did burn. At this point, Sid, this is the only home that we know of that has burned in this 180-plus acre fire. What do you have for us at this point?
Well, you were talking about how they were putting stuff away, and it's like you said earlier, if we're not using it, let's put it away so we don't trip over it. Right now, most of the flame is out in this house here, and you were talking about what's on the other side. It's the canyon, so the flames basically came up, had plenty of fuel to burn, and this was the last house at the end of the cul-de-sac, and it took the brunt of it, and it was destroyed. When you go to the right, you'll see that the homes are all intact. Firefighters were able to contain the fire to just that one home. Neighbors here know each other, and they were able to text each other, get everybody ready to go, and everything worked perfectly as far as evacuating not only people, but large animals, the horses. This is horse country up here. Some of the folks who stayed behind decided to stay and not evacuate to protect their property and to also make sure that their neighbors that needed help got out of here safely. So we've got one Ventura County Fire Department engine here right now keeping an eye on this hotspot. And what we've noticed, the winds are starting to pick up here. Danny's been talking about the winds, and right before we went on the air the last time, the wind started to pick up, and that's a concern. Died down a little bit, and now they're starting to pick up. You can feel the breeze here. When the fire broke out earlier today, about 9:30, quarter to 10, one of the homeowners here was telling me that the winds were so strong, it could almost push you over. So what he was able to do was take the hose and water down his house. Other neighbors we talked to were already helping their newer neighbors get ready to evacuate. It's part of living up here. You're surrounded by these beautiful hillsides or hills up here, and folks who have been living for more than 10, 15, 20, almost 40 years, they're veterans. They know that they have to have stuff packed and ready to go, and they were. Again, firefighters were able to contain this blaze to this one house at the top of the cul-de-sac here. All the others, a few dozen, still intact. Now, neighbors are still wandering around for a little bit just to check up to make sure everybody's okay. But I tell you, this is a reminder to get to know your neighbors. Make sure that in case you have to get out quickly, you know who may need help, you know where everybody has their stuff. You just want to make sure that everybody gets out safely. As one person told me years ago at a fire, they can rebuild, but you can't replace people. And today was a great example of where neighbors were helping neighbors out. Some of the neighbors residents were telling me that the couple of the newer neighbors who moved in within the past few years, they got them prepared, educated them on how to be prepared in case of a fire. So when this broke out this morning, their new neighbors were ready to go. And that's the important part here. No report of any injuries up here, guys, but what I can tell you, again, that fire continued. There's one house at the top of the cul-de-sac. You still have one fire engine here keeping an eye on things because the wind is starting to pick up. And that's what has everybody concerned up here is the wind. Let's send it back to you.
All right, Sid.
Okay, Sid, thank you very much.
Sorry, you know, I just wanted to give a brief update here. We can see that Ventura County Fire is now reporting that its 500 acres have burned so far, and those evacuation orders and warnings, they are still in place. But you can see just by this large aerial, Philip, that it does look like they are getting the upper hand. Firefighters are. All those aerial drops are working, but you see that large charred area. That is.
I'd love Air 7 to hold that shot if they could. I would love it if they would. If they could pull out. This is an example of the work firefighters are doing. Look at the burn area, and look at the homes. That is such an incredible image of what they are able to do. How the burn area is actually, simply put, right around. You talk about structure protection. The area that is not burned is where people live, and the tip of that area is the one home where Sid is. At the very tip of that, the area that is not burned is where Sid's one home has burned. And even look to the right of the screen there, that is where they had the helicopter water drops off to the right there. That is the area that right around it was burned. So again, we talk about the science of fighting fires and the coordinated effort. Again, they have people in the air that are telling the helicopters, they're telling the fixed wings where to go. It's such a high-level choreography of how they can water drop, keep the fire moving. They're taking into consideration which way the wind is going, where the fire is burning, and they can somehow protect the structures that are there. And by the way, they're doing it. When we came on the air with this fire, we couldn't even see any of that. The smoke was blowing in such a way that you couldn't even see where the homes were, and yet somehow they were able to put water on this fire and keep all of those homes from burning. Because if one of them had caught fire beyond the tip, I mean, you know, it's really unfortunate for the homeowner that lost their home. But if one of those homes on either flank of this had caught fire, it just begins to hopscotch from home to home. But that is, Air 7, thank you. What a great image that is to be able to see what those firefighters were able to do. Because of that burn pattern, you can really see that is science. The way they were able to manipulate that fire and keep those structures protected is just genius work.
It really is. And you know what, joining us right now to talk to us is, again, Andy Van Sciver from Ventura County.
It wasn't timed. I was not timing that before Andy gets on the phone with that.
And Andy, we really were applauding the fire crews and the firefight that's happening. And it is interesting to talk about fire science. But give us the latest on the fire. We did report that you've updated the acreage to 500 acres have burned.
Yeah, so our sensor aircraft flew it some time ago, but our air attack gave us an acreage update. And this is more of a hold your thumb out and guesstimate from your experience, but they're putting it at 500 acres at this point in time.
Yeah, and so tell us, how is the firefight? What do you see happening as we get into the afternoon?
Right. Well, we're still anticipating a change in the weather to our advantage. I haven't heard anything change other than that the wind is expected to begin to decrease. We continue to have helicopters and air tankers. As I look right now, I see one air tanker 310 inbound, and I still see 5 or 6 helicopters transitioning from the firefight to Bard Reservoir to refill their tanks.
And Andy, one of the things that we're watching from our helicopter is so much of the air attack is really trying to put out these hot spots that are still threatening some structures. But my question is, even though it looks as if they're able to control the active flame near these homes, what about into the afternoon and tomorrow? You're going to have to send ground crews, I'm assuming, out into these areas to really turn over that soil and make sure that these fires are absolutely out, correct?
Exactly. We're going to be here for some time. We have over 200 firefighters from Ventura County, plus some mutual aid partners. That's probably pushing us closer to 250 firefighters on scene. We're making good progress with our structure defense. Our number one priority is life safety, and from there we work on our structure defense or our properties and then the environment. But yes, the firefighters on the ground are standing up strong, using their hose lines and using their tools to defend these structures.
Yeah, and as we go into the afternoon, we were seeing some people, they were using their own shovels, and a lot of homeowners are going to be looking out their window, just monitoring it from their own sort of vantage point. Do you have any advice for them if they're starting to see anything or they're concerned, because you guys can only be so many places?
Yeah, so our number one thing, as I mentioned before, is life safety, and that's wrapped around our Ready, Set, Go program. So if you start to smell smoke in the neighborhood, it's time for you to be evacuating. By now, you've already parked your vehicle, had it turned around in the driveway, got your valuables packed, and now it's time to go. When you are in a warning or you're in order and you're now smelling smoke, it's time to go. Because anytime our firefighters have to stop what they're doing to go help someone that took too long to evacuate, we have to stop defending somebody else's house and go help them. We'll always do that. We'll always go help somebody than just defend a structure. So it's imperative that everyone takes heed and evacuate when they're asked to.
Andy, how much, I mean, when you bring in all of these different agencies to fight a fire like this, you know the community, so you kind of see this. When the smoke was laying down and we couldn't even tell, what you were fighting, how hard is it to communicate to these mutual agencies where you need to go, what you're needed, what's happening? Because the fight here was so coordinated. It was really an amazing thing to do. But when you've got all of these different agencies going on, how hard is that?
Well, it's very, very complex, but we have technology by our side, and we use a software platform on a lot of our iPads and our computers and the engines. So when we ask for immediate mutual aid, we get the immediate response from the closest mutual aid station. They drive directly to our fire. They can see on our maps where our equipment is. I can see where their equipment is right now. I can see real time where the fire is burning. I can see the maps and layers for evacuations and fire fronts and where the current perimeter is. So we have the shared space on an iPad or a computer that enables us to see all of that information.
And Andy, very quickly, we had the initial reports that this fire was likely started by somebody trying to clear brush. Do you have any further word on that?
I have no information on the cause.
Okay. Thank you very much. I know it's very early to say something like that, but people worry. Just wanted to see if you had any word on that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for helping us. And as I leave, just remind your audience to monitor emergency.venturacounty.gov. That's where you'll find information on evacuation shelters, where they can move their large animals or small animals. It gives them a map of the fire and also the acreage. So if they can't get it anywhere else, please go there. Thank you very much.
You got it.
Andy, thank you. Speaking of evacuation areas, we do know the Ventura County Fairground is now the large animal evacuation center. So if you do need to go to evacuate your large animal, go to the Ventura County Fairground for that. Also, we're going to go back out to Sid Garcia. Sid Garcia has some interviews, I believe, right, Sid?
Unfortunately, our cabin lit up, but
yeah,
nothing else did.
This is Jack Barrow. This is Brianna Marks. Under the category of neighbors helping neighbors, you knew this was going on. You guys live in Thousand Oaks, not too far, but you hightailed it up here to help your neighbor.
Well, for me, this is actually my house. Okay. So, she's a family friend of ours. Yeah. And, definitely our neighbors were such a big help helping us get out. Even other family friends, too, drove here, helped us get things out of the house before we had to evacuate.
How crazy was it this morning when you knew the fire was coming up the hill?
Oh, it was very crazy. I was at school and I could see it from my classroom. I told all my friends, that's my house right there. So my older sister and my twin sister, we drove home immediately, jumped to action, helped my mom get our animals and any valuables out of the house. It's definitely a very frightening scenario, not what I was expecting to happen this morning. So.
Hey, Brianna, we were talking earlier, when the winds pick up, it's like everybody here, like amateur meteorologists, when the winds are picking up and it's dry, that raises the concern.
Yes, as being born and raised California, you see the temperatures, you see the winds. That's the first thing you think of in my head. That's the first thing we think of.
Everything inside the house, we were able to get some items out? Everything's okay?
Yes, thankfully their house is okay, and we were able to stop the flames before they progressed any further to hit the house.
Feeling grateful, lucky, both? What are we doing?
I'm so grateful for all the help we have, our family, friends, just family. I'm so grateful for everything. If it wasn't for them, our house may not be here.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Be safe on the way down. Again, neighbors helping neighbors out. This is Jack's home. His friend comes over. This is what everybody was doing, from people to big animals. They were able to evacuate safely. Some stayed here to protect the property. And again, reiterate, just the one house here at the top of the cul-de-sac destroyed, all the others intact. Let's send it back to you.
Okay, Sid, thank you very much. And once we got to see from Air 7 how that burn pattern was, it is just the tip of the spear, really, as to where that home was. Let's go to Rob Hayes. He's on Rocking Horse Drive, also just taking a look at the ground and see how things are. Rob, it looks like you have active fire behind you. Have you seen airdrops trying to put that the flames out behind you?
Yeah, we just had an airdrop probably within the last 5 minutes. Other choppers have been making drops to the south of us. Just to give you an idea of where we are, we're about half a mile, maybe a little less away from where Sid Garcia was, where that house went up. And this, as you pointed out, Philip, is the concern. We have active flames burning right here in the backyard. Oh, there's just missed a water drop just a little south of us again. So they are hitting this area. But you can see, pan right to the left there, you'll see we've got active flames burning within 50 to 75 yards of homes over here. We have a homeowner that we're in the backyard of Alex Hoffmaster's house. You said you've lived here 13 years. Have you seen fires before?
Yeah, this is probably the second time a fire's ripped through the canyons like that. It usually starts off as a small little fire, and then with the winds, how windy it is here in Simi Valley, kind of tears into a big tragic like this.
Yeah, walk me through how this developed here. Were you watching it?
So I was at work. I got notification from a lot of my neighbors that it originated, I think, south of Sequoia, and then with the winds blowing, it kind of rips around our area. I jammed home. Obviously, this is an equestrian community, so there's a lot of animals that need to be evacuated. So I just tried to get home as soon as I can.
Yeah, and you have horses, you were telling me.
Yeah, that's correct. I have 2 horses that were evacuated safely, as well as my other family members.
So what did you do with the horses?
We have another property about a block away, so we have them there temporarily. But there's ranches that will take the horses and stuff, too, if it were to burn up some of the houses.
Got it. Now, were you asked to evacuate this area or not?
Yeah, this was an evacuation area, but I felt safe enough to stay. I just wanted to kind of see how bad it was and protect the house.
All right. Well, Rob Hayes, we obviously are having a little bit of technical difficulties out there. We'll go back to him in just a moment. But meteorologist Daniel Romero, you've also been tracking the winds, the current conditions right there, and how the day is progressing. Yeah, I mean, I guess the good thing is the direction that we're going is that the wind advisory that's in effect right now goes down at 3 p.m. Now, that said, the winds that we have right now, in that, as we show you here on that wind advisory, we're seeing the winds now 20 miles per hour, somewhat sustained. There's occasional gusts, 37, 40 miles per hour. That's it. But keep in mind, even those 20, 25 mile per hour winds, they're enough to lift things and move them away if they're not secured. They can get strong enough with those gusts to knock down tree limbs and move those as well. So even though the numbers might seem fairly mild compared to the high wind warnings of 50, 60 miles per hour, those are still winds that can do some damage and certainly fan the fire, the flames that we're watching so closely right now. So this is the condition at the moment with the very low humidities, 15%. That's not a good sign. Things are just so dry and staying dry. Remember too, as that fire burns, in front of it, it is heating and drying the ground in front. So that's why that fire, when it moves, it's kind of feeding itself. So that's, again, a reason to try and stop the advance of that fire, because there you can see it kind of helps itself grow. So as we watch, the areas are going to be impacted not only by the fire, the flames that are hopefully being stopped. The winds are blowing this way out of the northeast, the Santa Ana winds that we talk about, the northeast winds, generally speaking, and blowing this way towards these homes. So if not flames, at the very least, a lot of smoke is being blown that way. So the air quality is such that you either stay indoors, have a mask on, or just be gone altogether and let the firefighters do their job. So these spots here, so there's still some inhabited areas here that are going to get that smoke concern. So setting up how those winds are looking out of that northeast, we're seeing it still being part of that weather picture. And looking forward, here's how it's setting up. So the areas in that orange and the red, that's going to be your stronger wind. So still in that 37 mile per hour category, right around the fire zone. Now we look ahead, move our maps and our forecast maps, moving forward. So there's the winds there this afternoon. Now watch, we head towards tonight, later this afternoon. Now we start seeing less of that orange-red indicating. So the blues, the yellows are milder winds, but again, still winds that are blowing. They can still move things. They can certainly fan those flames, even at 10, 20 miles per hour. So that's what we're seeing here right about this afternoon, about 5 o'clock, after the advisories are scheduled to go down at 3 p.m. So now we head into the overnight hours, early morning hours, and you see pretty mild conditions. But that said, this wind advisory is still there for now till 3 p.m. And again, those gusts could get in that 40, 50 mile per hour range. So sustained winds certainly are a concern. They are in that 20, 30 mile per hour range, but those gusts come up, and just a brief blast of strong winds at 50 miles per hour could really cause some concerns. Again, knocking down tree limbs, moving unsecured objects. So in that zone in the 10, that's going to be the areas to watch here for the next few hours. And to the north of us, just an area of concern to keep an eye on. Kind of an indicator of the dry conditions happening today. Red flag warning up around central California, the San Joaquin Valley there. We're seeing those conditions very, very dry and some strong winds there as well. But that's way to our north. For our areas here, we're concerned about this wind advisory kind of being in place, I said, at the moment until 3 p.m. But still, even beyond that, when the advisory goes down, they get below that 35 mile per hour range. Still, 20, 25 mile per hour winds with the occasional strong gusts are still going to be a concern, and certainly firefighters watching that closely through the afternoon, as are we. All right, Philip, Colleen, go ahead.
Okay, Danny, thank you. And we want to update you on the breaking news out of San Diego as we see some of the live images here from Air 7 there on that screen. We told you about this, the shooting at an Islamic Center of San Diego in Claremont. There were reports of an active shooter. We told you about this, but we just got an update. Police now say the threat has been neutralized. That is their terminology. This happened just east of Mission Bay, about 20 minutes north of downtown San Diego. Outside of the shooter, it does appear as if there was at least one casualty. Governor Newsom has been briefed. His Office of Emergency Services is coordinating with local law enforcement. The mayor of San Diego has also been briefed. We are working to get more information. You see the video there on your left. You see the map here on the right. This is about 20 miles in the area of Claremont, 20 miles north of downtown San Diego. A heavy police presence there for a time. The active shooter was quarantined, or at least they might have determined it as a standoff. They were contained inside the Islamic Center, but now our update is police say the threat has been neutralized. And again, there appears to be one casualty. We will update this on the here on ABC7 throughout the day. So stay with us here. But again, hopefully we will determine that this is just kept to one casualty with this, but a heavy police presence. It's just a horrible thing to hear about in San Diego today.
Yeah, absolutely. While you look at those images, they're just so sad, and everybody's used to seeing those images, and they just impact all of us when we see it. We continue to follow our breaking news as well out of Simi Valley, our local coverage here of the Sandy fire, and you can see, Philip, you can see there's a pretty good Phos-Check line that hopefully will stop the forward motion of the Sandy fire. But again, we know that we were just speaking with Andy Van Sciver from Ventura County Fire. He said that, you know, they have such an incredible array of these aerial assaults that are happening on this, and so to have them put the Phos-Check, you know, like you said, it's a science, so they really are hoping that the winds, that they said the weather is in their favor, and nothing has pointed out that it would be different, so the winds will be dying down, hopefully.
Yeah, you can actually see the Phos-Check in front of that fire right there. We also want to point out, you know, we've mentioned it earlier, and I want to reiterate here, Andy did not want to, he said he had not heard any word on this, but we do want to go back to this because I think people in these moments automatically assume the worst. But we got a report earlier from the Simi Valley Police Public Information Officer at 10:17 this morning. The Simi Valley PD received a call from someone who said they were clearing brush with a tractor, hit a rock, and caused an ignition for this fire. The police department said they cannot confirm that that was actually what started the fire, but it is a possible cause for this fire. So, you know, we assume in many cases that it's arson, that there was something nefarious out there, but also it's possible that it was an accident. And we just want to point out that there is the possibility, based off of this information from the Simi Valley Police Department and this phone call, somebody might have been trying to do the right thing and accidentally caused this fire. We hope that's the case. We also had some good news in that the weather is kind of working in the favor of the fire department. You do see the evacuation orders, the evacuation warnings, and it looks as if they've added a section here, Colleen.
It does.
So just want to pass that along as well. But I did want to pass along the possibility that this was an accidental cause, and we wanted to let everybody know that as well.
Yeah, that's why a lot of areas that are in kind of vulnerable areas, they use the sheep as their, you know, they use
sheep and goats.
The sheep and the goats to really reduce on their foliage out there and reduce fire danger. But again, we're seeing, as of right now, and one of those things that Andy also said was that they're going to be monitoring this area for any hot spots. Now we're all very clear on how long hot spots can develop, being the Palisades fire was sort of sparked by a hot spot that was smoldering for a few days.
Is it possible for us to go back to that map again? Because I just casually mentioned, but we do have another area there that had been added to that map. That is a new section there to the southwest area in the direction of Thousand Oaks that has been added. That bottom left corner is a new warning area that has been added. That, if you're headed in that direction, we don't really have a border for it, but this is, there we go, thank you very much. The red is the order. That is the original area of the Sandy fire that was always under the evacuation order. The dark yellow that is immediately west in the direction of the 23, that too was always in that place. This X section right here to the southwest section, that is the area that is new, that we're just starting to see. So be aware that, thank you very much to our producers and our director there to get that back up. That is a section that, as it continues to move to the southwest, that is an area that you need to be aware of. It's not a whole lot of area that is inhabited, but that if you look to the far southwest of it, that is an area that is, there's a neighborhood in that space. That's an area that you need to be kind of aware of. Far left there, you'll see some communities there. Looks like Avenida de los Arboles, that is an area that and also Lang Ranch Parkway. Right. So those are the areas that you're going to want to probably start being aware you know, you'll see some smoke probably, and so you should probably be aware of that.
Yeah, and I know a lot of families have plans after schools and the kids' sports. We just want to send you a little notice that the Simi Youth Baseball, they said because of the air quality, which of course you can imagine there's a lot of smoke in the air, that the air quality is causing them to close today. So the Simi Youth Baseball is not going to be happening today. It says due to air quality and being in the evacuation zone that they will be closed. So again, if your kids are playing youth baseball, they won't be playing after school today.
And you can imagine how the air quality is going to be because of the amount of smoke. And again, as Danny was mentioning, while the winds at 3 o'clock won't be at advisory levels, they're still going to be blowing. And so you're going to have this smoke that's going to be affecting a lot of folks. If the 23, if that's your guiding principle, anything in that direction, you're going to have probably some wind, certainly to the south, southwest. So Agoura Hills is going to be smoky probably all afternoon.
Yeah, that whole
I think
area.
Thousand Oaks is probably going to get a lot of smoke today, but you can see from this image, 2 helicopters probably dropping water on some of the hot spots, but you also saw that Phos-Check over there as well. So the retardant is out there.
So it's so helpful. Again, we were talking about the weather, and we were talking about Sid Garcia's shot as well. Danny's coming back in for our coverage. That on the ground, it is pretty windy. And as we see, it looks like fire crews are right there.
Yeah, some of the heavy machinery.
Some of the heavy machinery, like bulldozing that area. But again, they're certainly not out of the woods here.
Right. Yeah, and you notice too on that shot, you see that fire going up the hill. And that's that real fast spread, because what happens, as I mentioned earlier, is that flame heats the ground ahead of it and dries it out, which is exactly what the fire is looking for. So it kind of prepares itself to spread up that hill. So you're always watching on hillsides as that fire goes up that hill. It's harder to stop because it's kind of just really speeding up, because what it needs to burn is setting itself up to burn right in front of us. So we're certainly watching that. But at the moment, the winds are the concern, however, heading towards being less of a concern. But here's the idea. Don't get that false sense of security. Winds are still going to be there. Even if they drop down below, say, 35, 30 miles per hour, still those winds at that 20, 25 mile per hour range are still moving things, still blowing things around, and the occasional gust make it stronger. But right now, just at the moment, to keep it in the present, we're seeing winds in that steady wind, 20 miles per hour out of the northeast. Again, that's Santa Ana wind out of the northeast. So we're seeing that pattern certainly in play. So that profile is set up following the pattern. Those gusts going in that 37 mile per hour range, still very dry. As I mentioned, those conditions are very dry, 15% relative humidity. And again, drying it even more so as it burns the area ahead of the flame itself. So certainly watching that through the afternoon. So we're seeing where those winds are going, blowing towards the south and the west. These homes here are going to be at least getting a lot of smoke here the next few hours. And again, even as the winds die down, it's still blowing things in that direction as long as it stays in that northeast pattern. So these spots, at the very least, smoke, really bad air quality, and of course that chance of the fire moving that way and the occasional ember being blown in that direction, getting under an eave or something, as we've seen many, many times in these fires. So that's going to be a concern here through the afternoon into tonight. So here's how the winds are set up now. So there's that strong area here right around the fire zone, 37 mile per hour winds. So that's happening at the moment. Looking forward now, watch as this changes from a lot of yellow, orange, and red, the stronger winds, to a more calmer kind of condition where it's going to be more in that blue range, more of that mild teens, 15, 16, 17 mile per hour winds, or even less. So watch as the blue kind of spreads over those areas that were orange and red. So we look towards this afternoon and into tonight, less and less of those stronger winds. And then virtually no winds at all during the late night, early morning hours. That's good news. Time to kind of really get some work done on those fires, really, patting them down and getting really kind of under control. But looking ahead, here's again, mentioned the wind advisory. So let me show you this. Here's the areas in the tan, that wind advisory. Again, those limits, 20, 30 mile per hour sustained winds. So that's just a steady wind blowing. So even at 20 miles per hour, it's a concern. Then you get those stronger gusts that pop up in that 40, 50 mile per hour range. Those ones are strong. We'll see those occasionally on our coverage with Sid, with Rob out there. We'll see, again, kind of things kind of pick up quickly. That's the gusts coming through. And again, they could get up in that 40, 50 mile per hour range. So we're going to certainly keep those in mind. Again, right now till 3 p.m. Could get updated to longer, could extend it if the conditions, persist. However, At this point, they're planning on lowering it out of the advisory level. And the advisory level is the lowest level of these wind warnings that are going on. So we're going in the right direction, less and less winds. However, again, still, even below that advisory level, there's still going to be winds to be of concern there. And that certainly will be something to watch. To the north, there's something to mention. There's a red flag warning up around central California, through the Fresno, Bakersfield area to the north. Very dry conditions, strong winds there as well. So we're kind of watching that. The temperatures, now that's something in our favor. It's nothing really hot, but I mean, certainly warm. We're seasonal, like probably the better word for it. So a 76 right now in Santa Clarita. We're showing temps in that mid to upper 70s in most areas on the inland spots. Of course, at the coast, they're going to stay on the cooler side with the sea breeze blowing, but those inland spots are going to watch here for a while. Those numbers in that mid 70s range. So the temperatures are cooperating, pretty much nothing really, really hot, but the humidity is really kind of low, especially in that fire zone. And of course, the winds still in play at advisory level at this point until 3 p.m. All right? All right, yeah, it's all yours.
Okay, Danny, thank you so much. Okay, we're going to go back out to Eyewitness News reporter Rob Hayes, who's in Simi Valley. I know we had a bad connection with you earlier. So, Rob, are you still in the same place of Rocking Horse Drive?
Rocking Horse Drive, we moved a couple of houses up the street. As the gentleman we were talking to was explaining before, this is a big equestrian area. You can tell a lot of these places have horses. This home had 2 horses. They evacuated them, and for good reason, because when you look out in the backyard here, you could see this is where the fire burned through. They've been doing a lot of water drops here in the last, say, 40 minutes that we've been around, and they seem to be working. And the good news is when you look at this smoke, it's not blowing towards the homes, it's blowing uphill, and that's already burned. So hopefully these homes are safe in this area. We were talking with a neighbor down the way, Alex Hoffmaster. He's been here 13 years. Also had horses, evacuated them. He said he was watching as the fire moved through, and fortunately, those water drops and what appears to be a shift in the wind is definitely helping the homes here.
All right, Rob, thank you very much. And the thing about that particular shot is all of that shrubbery around there. It's not just that the fire's right there. It's if the fire were to, perchance, get into those trees, that's different than some of the other properties that we've seen. So, Rob, thank you very much for that.
The winds have died down, though, in this
Yeah,
area.
that's the good news, is that the winds do seem to have died down. Sid Garcia also still standing by, and Sid has been in a location where the fire did burn a property. But Sid, you've also watched the conditions change throughout the day, not only in the fight, but in people coming by. So what can you tell us that has changed, and where are things now?
What's changed now is that we've got more helicopters flying over us with water drops. That's the one big difference. Danny was talking about the winds earlier. It's calm now. They've dived down a little bit. A couple of minutes ago, it was still blowing pretty good out here. What I can tell you is that the one house at the top of the cul-de-sac, the fire was pretty much out. Firefighters here are still monitoring the situation, but they're starting to put some hoses away. If you don't need it, let's just put it away. I had a chance to talk to some neighbors up here. This is where they really emphasize it's good to know your neighbor and get the new neighbors ready in case something like this happens. We talked to a couple of ladies earlier this morning, and they were telling us how crazy things were, but they were also telling us how important it was to make sure not only themselves, but their neighbors were evacuated safely. Here's what they had to say. Jeannie, when did you notice that something was happening?
I was inside cleaning the house, and I opened the slider to take trash outside, and ashes, and it just came very fast. This one, it's faster than usual.
How long have you been living here now?
38 years.
Have you ever seen it come up that fast before?
One time, about 2 decades ago. But not quite this bad. But this is the second time that we've emptied drawers in the safe and moved our RV and the horse. It's the first time we've done that.
Evacuation orders, but you opted to stay.
Well, we're surrounded by firemen, married to retired firemen. There's a lot of people on the block that are knowledgeable that I trust.
Katie, let me ask you, how's the house? And when did you notice things were starting to get crazy up here?
So at 10:15, my husband and I were leaving, and he is retired fire department, so he instantly smelled fire. We went to the cul-de-sac end, and you could see it. We knew the winds were blowing our way. We know we're, up canyon. We knew that was a bad scenario, so we were able to kind of get in place, and we got a rapid response from fire department. They were amazing, and we kind of stuck it out. Thankfully, this is an animal neighborhood. This is an equestrian neighborhood. Thankfully, my animals were already somewhere else because I'm leaving town tomorrow. So that allowed me to kind of be more free to help. Her horse got evacuated down the street. So we're animal people up here. We think of them first. And thankfully, all the animals, dogs, everybody's out on our cul-de-sac and got out.
I'm getting the sense that everybody here, this community, when something like this happens, it's like it's helping everybody out, all hands on deck.
We're a very tight community up here. We've been here 20 years. Everybody else is even longer. This cul-de-sac, especially Trickling Brook, is super special. We've got a group text that the first text went out at 10:16. There's a fire. This neighborhood, everybody supports everybody.
Let me ask you the same thing. How important was it that everybody knows their neighbors and what their needs are, and just making sure everybody was going to be okay, including the animals?
Yeah, it's vital, which is why we started this whole group thread for just our street, to keep everyone informed. We've got some new people on the street who have not been through this before. So we've had others smoke, like in the last couple of years, but we told them it's okay, it's blowing that way. This one, we got on and said, okay, pack, get out.
And that's the big, big reminder. If you live in an area that is prone to brush fires like where we are, simply be ready. It's the old Boy Scout motto, be prepared. You need to be ready just in case. And you heard there how, even with the new neighbors that moved in a couple of years ago, as soon as they were settled, they helped them get ready just in case a fire broke out. Sadly, one house destroyed, but firefighters here were able to save the rest of the block on this cul-de-sac. And to back up what Danny was talking about, the winds here. Sometimes it's blowing pretty good. Right now, they're much lighter than they were, say, 5-10 minutes ago. But then again, that could change at any moment. Let's send it back to you.
All right, Sid, thank you so much for that report. Okay, we're going to go back to our breaking news in San Diego. Police there at the Islamic Center of San Diego and Claremont for reports of an active shooter. Well, we just got an update. The Islamic Center says the entire school is safe and all kids, staff, and teachers are safe. The center says, quote, there are a few casualties not confirmed, end quote. We're not exactly sure what that means, but the center is asking for prayers. Police say the threat has been neutralized. This is happening just east of Mission Bay, about 20 minutes north of downtown San Diego. Governor Gavin Newsom has been briefed, and his Office of Emergency Services is coordinating with local law enforcement. The mayor of San Diego also briefed, and we're learning that the San Diego Police Department, they are planning to hold a press conference to give us new information and an update on exactly what occurred this morning. And again, when they do take that, we will certainly share all the information, or we will bring it to you live if we can. But again, we are certainly, of course, working to get as much information as we can. And then if the police department does hold a press conference, we expect to bring it to you live.
Yeah, there's just so much information. We don't want to rush to it. Just need to let them have their moment to kind of determine. It's such a heavy police presence. Yeah. We don't want to rush to anything, and just let them have their moment to determine what's happened, so we can just get it all and get it right when it comes out. We are also dealing with breaking news here. We continue to follow the Sandy fire. We're taking a look at live images here with this fire, but we're also monitoring a fire in the Angeles National Forest that's 30 acres. It says that right now they're calling it moderate rate of spread. We're just watching that. That is in the Angeles National Forest. This is the one that is 500 acres in size. We believe it started around just after 10 o'clock this morning. We've been on it since about 11 o'clock this morning with Air 7. Scott Reif was watching it. We've watched an incredible aerial assault on this fire to protect virtually every home. One home has been lost that we know of. We do not know of any injuries as a result of this, but multiple agencies involved in this across the city of LA, the county of LA, and Ventura County has really attacked this from the air, fixed wing aircraft, helicopters, 200 personnel. And we talked with Ventura County Fire's Andy Van Sciver, who has told us that they are going to have the ground personnel on this over the next week, several days, because they're going to have to really go on this with ground crews to just make sure that all of these hot spots are out. They also have bulldozers out there, heavy equipment, because they've got to draw a line around 500 acres to make sure that this is safely contained and it never gets into any other homes. No,
and exactly as we're giving the update on the specifics, we also know that there are reports that it was probably sparked by a tractor that was trying to clear brush. But again, we'll still effort to find out the exact, and when Ventura County Fire gives us those details, we will certainly share them with you. But that was the early report that we received this morning.
Let's go back to Rob Hayes. He is on Rocking Horse Drive, which is just a short, just a couple of blocks, maybe not even blocks away from where Sid Garcia was and his home that was lost. So, Rob, it looks like you have one of the residents near you.
Yeah, we have Brent Rickner. How long have you lived here, Brent?
Since '87.
So you've been here a spell. Fire history back here?
Every 5 or 10 years you get a flare-up.
Yeah. Any damage to your house?
Not.
Rob, we're having a hard time. Your audio is still cutting out, Rob. Sometimes we try to do the fire coverage, and we know that sort of the communications are not always great.
Well, and he's in that spot where it's basically a cell phone that he's using, and it's kind of cutting in and out a little bit, Rob. And it's one of the reasons why it's a delayed signal when we talk.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Now I got you, Rob.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, I'm going to try and not move the microphone much. Maybe that'll help. But tell me what you're doing here and what you hope for.
So the fire's in back of us. It's coming down the hill, and it's going to come back up. So what we want to do is get so it would be what they call the dirty burn. And there's a couple of firefighters up on the hill with some big hoses should we get a flare up. So we're hoping to keep the flames from coming up the mountain.
Yeah. And how did you were you tracking the fire as it moved in this area?
Yes, it started on the other side, and by the time I got here, it was on the mountain.
Yeah. Horses?
We don't have horses.
No horses. Okay, so that's worry about evacuating them.
They already took all the livestock, so we're good to go there.
Yeah, and then all your personal property, the important stuff?
It's in the house.
Packed up and ready to go, or not?
Some of it, yeah.
You're a veteran, so you've done this before, I imagine.
Sure. Let's save the houses.
Good idea. That sounds like a good plan. So that's, again, we're on a Rocking Horse Drive, not too far from the home that did go up in flames, but so far things are looking really good here. As you can see, the shrubbery behind me is not moving very much. The trees a little bit, the higher you get, but the wind does seem to be dying down, and that is really good news for the homeowners and the firefighters.
Yeah, Rob, but you can see why he has this hose out, because you're not that far away from where you can see the smoke. And earlier there were some flames, so you can see why these homeowners are doing everything they can. He's got a lot of brush, though, so that I can see that he would want to make sure that.
I should point out, too, Colleen, that behind us you see a bunch of green trees. Just behind these trees, maybe 25 yards to 30 yards, that's where the fire was burning. It's a giant burned out area. So that'll give you a little more perspective on what fire is to this gentleman's property.
Okay. All right. Well, Rob, thank you very much, and an interesting perspective. Different way of handling it. Some people, we talked to a family there with Sid Garcia, who their first reaction was to get home when their home was threatened, grab everything of value and get it out. And then, the person there who has not taken those steps, he chose to water down the shrubbery in the backyard. So you have two different approaches for things, and so that's we can see it live as it's happening.
Yeah.
And meantime, we have fire from Air 7 that shows you the risk that is still there for everyone. We've seen helicopters and we've seen fixed wing, and it's fascinating to see the fire actually approach the Phoscheck. You see the Phoscheck there on that ridge line, and you can see you can see how it's working. You can see that space right there where it's out, and then you saw just up the hill there from Air 7's shot here as the active flame approaches the Phoscheck, and then it just dies right there on the spot, and it's just amazing to see it work.
It is amazing to see it work, Philip. Again, the science of fire is very remarkable to see that. And again, from Rob's vantage point, he had two people, and both those homeowners decided to stay and kind of monitor the situation. And we saw that one neighborhood, many of the people did want to evacuate. So it really is, it's sort of like a family. You can have several people in your family. Some are going to stay behind and try to fight no matter what. And some others will get out as soon as possible.
Well, it's also, we've seen the value of proper landscaping in many of these homes. This is the area where the home burned. You can see they're still putting water on that space. That's the one fire truck there. So we did see with Sid, they rolled up a lot of the hoses because the fight itself at that location is over. But there are going to be so many things that are still actively, potentially burning that they're just going to drown that space. So Sid's now back with us. But Sid, they're ready to go. If that fire truck is needed somewhere else, they're able to quickly go. But it's really interesting, Sid, and maybe you can speak to it. There's so many people in that area that are the landscaping. They're taking good care of everything around their neighbors to be able to protect their homes.
People we've been talking to today have lived in this neighborhood 30, nearly 40 years. They are veterans of brush fires up here. And what they've been able to do with the recent neighbors who moved into the neighborhood, they were able to educate them on how to be prepared in case something like this happens. What needs to be put in boxes so you can immediately evacuate and leave here safely. When the evacuation order was given, many folks evacuated, not only people, but also, this is horse country, the animals were taken out of here. Some decided to stay to protect their property, make sure everything was going to be okay. And a classic case where neighbor helping neighbor. We had a chance to talk to a kid who was at his high school when he saw the flames, and one of the neighbors who saw what was going on decided to rush over here to see how their family friends were doing. Check this out. Here's what they had to say.
Well, I just know we live in Thousand Oaks, and these are our family friends, and we saw the smoke, and we were like, we gotta get over there, we gotta help them. You gotta evacuate and follow, but we wanted to help stay and protect their property, so we thought that was the right thing to do at this time.
What were you able to say for them?
I mean, when we came in, the hill was completely on fire, and it kept catching the trees on fire, so we hit the trees with the hose and tried to hope that it wouldn't spread then to the house, and so far, so good. So,
one of the things we're learning, it's really important to get to know your neighbors and help them out, because if you've been here, this is what you deal with from time to time.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. Well, we are very, very fortunate. We have such amazing neighbors. We have Ron. He helped me carry a water pump to our neighbor's pool over there. So I'm very grateful for the neighbors we have. They're all nice. We have good relationships with all of them.
How important was it just to have that relationship and understanding what the needs were to get everybody out safely?
I mean, I believe it's extremely important. I know it's very beneficial. It's great for you already know your neighbor, so you can talk. It's great teamwork. you're already familiar with them and, you know, their abilities. And like Ron over there, he's like my grandpa to me. He's very amazing. So we eat dinners there, and it's very nice to have a relationship.
When the wind starts to pick up and you know the Santa Anas, does that raise the hairs in the back of your neck, like be prepared just in case?
It's actually funny you bring that up. I woke up this morning to the wind on my window, and I thought, oh, it's warm today, it's windy. Born and raised in California, it's going to be one of those days.
Everybody just needs to be prepared if you're going to live in this like they have it.
Oh, 100%. We did like just recently brush clearance, like just last Thursday. Just like, oh, by the grace of God, the best timing right there.
Brush clearance worked out. In fact, they were bringing out some valuables, and Jack, we thought it was a pet in this case. It turned out to be a vintage Mickey Mouse doll that he said was about 70 years old that belonged to his grandfather. So not putting a dollar value on what was taken out, it was more sentimental value. This is what people were bringing out. They were all prepared just in case something like this happened. And maybe this is just a good reminder to make sure you know your neighbors, and also to make sure that you are ready to go just in case you need to be evacuated. Again, you've got neighbors here coming back, checking on their property. Only one house destroyed, and we were showing you all morning what's been going on there. The hillside comes up. It just happened to be the first house in the cul-de-sac. But right now, as you see there, folks are thanking their lucky stars and thanking the firefighters for saving their neighborhood. Let's send it back to you.
All right, Sid, thank you very much. Yeah, you can certainly see all your neighbors. They come together. They give each other hugs, support. It was very stressful this morning. We saw all the smoke. We saw that one property going up in flames.
Think there's a little smoke out there? Have you heard Sid's voice change over the past 2 hours?
I feel for Sid.
I think so.
I know.
Danny Romero standing by. Danny, if we didn't know there was smoke, we could just listen to Sid.
Yeah.
I think his voice has suffered the consequences, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Because even as the winds subside, as they will here as we move through the afternoon, it's time to blow that smoke. Even as the fire gets kind of knocked down a bit, that smoke is going to be there. All the embers still burning, still causing concerns. And the concern areas are going to be to the south and west of the fire because we're in a Santa Ana condition. Winds out of the northeast at the moment strong enough to keep the wind advisory in place. So right now we're seeing those winds right there in that 20 mile per hour category. So for the steady winds, like it's always at least 20 miles per hour. Then occasionally you'll see those gusts go up in that 30, 35, right now 37 miles per hour range. And it's very dry. Relative humidity at 15%. So certainly the dry fuel that's there does not help the firefighters at the moment, although they're really kind of doing some great work there. But there's the wind pattern. You can see how it's coming out this way. So blowing the smoke and the ash and the occasional embers down here through some populated areas that have to really keep a watch on things. So in those areas right now, thank goodness there's no flames happening there, but they're watching towards the north to see what's going to happen for them. Moving this way, certainly the smoke going on, the embers that could fly that way, but the flames still contained by those amazing firefighters to the north. Now looking ahead, how the winds are kind of setting up in Southern California through the afternoon hours. So right now the oranges and reds, that's kind of the danger zones. Those are those 25, 30, 35 mile per hour winds that are still in play, and especially right there in the fire zone, 37 mile per hour winds. So that's in effect here in the afternoon hours. We look ahead and watch how it changes. We'll be helping out Sid somewhat because those winds start to die down, less of that smoke, but they're still going to be in the air. So watch that. Now here's the change. We now go from a lot of red and orange and even yellow to a little more blue. That's the real milder winds, but again, still winds blowing and occasional stronger gusts. By the time we get to the overnight hours, late night, morning hours, we're going to see things really kind of calm down in that fire zone and everywhere else. Just barely breezy conditions in that 10, 15 mile per hour category indicated by the blues and the yellows there. Then by the time we get to tomorrow, we could see things kind of die down in terms of the wind advisory itself. That right here in the areas of the 10, including the fire zone, that's going to be in effect until 3 p.m. this afternoon. So another hour and a half or so. Still, we're going to watch that with those winds in those levels. So they're going to drop down below that levels if all holds consistent here into the afternoon hours. But still, they're going to be, if not at 20, 30 miles per hour, they're going to be in that, 15 to 25 mile per hour range as a steady wind. The gusts might not be 40 to 50, but they could be in the 25 to 30 mile per hour range. So we're still going to watch those spots because as that flame still burns and gets fanned by whatever winds are there, that's going to be an area of concern. And also the winds, when they get those stronger gusts blowing, they can just still knock over properties, still pull palm tree fronds out of limbs, kind of scatter them around the area. So although calming down, it's something to watch again till 3 this afternoon. These spots right here, and we're going to keep an eye on it for you as well through the afternoon. All right, Philip, Colleen, go ahead.
Okay, Danny, thank you very much. And you see some live images from Air 7 there on the left-hand part of your screen. But we do want to update you on breaking news out of San Diego. We have an update on the reports of that active shooter at the Islamic Center of San Diego in Claremont. We just learned Sharp Memorial Hospital is receiving patients. Now, we do not know how many at this point. Police say the threat, though, has been neutralized. This is happening just east of Mission Bay, about 20 miles north of downtown San Diego. That is where Claremont is located. Governor Newsom has been briefed. His Office of Emergency Services is coordinating with local law enforcement. The mayor of San Diego has also been briefed. We are standing by for the possibility of a news conference. We'll bring that to you when it happens. The Islamic Center just posted this update on social media.
This is Imam Taha from the Islamic Center of San Diego. I wanted to send this message to the entire Muslim community in San Diego. Alhamdulillah, we are safe. The entire school is safe. All the kids, all the staff and the teachers are safe out of the Islamic Center. We have few casualties, not confirmed yet. There is no threat at this moment, but we want everyone to stay away from the Islamic Center of San Diego. We are closed for the rest of the day. Stay safe, stay at home.
So you did hear him say they have a few casualties, but you also heard him say everyone is safe, that the staff, the students, the children, they're all safe. So we don't exactly know what that means. So we are awaiting that update from police. We'll get that to you as soon as we get it. But again, that leans to some positive news. So hopefully that is positive news when he says that everyone is safe. That I lean to believe that casualties maybe means somehow somebody was hurt, but that means they're going to be, you know, we always hear the phrase non-life-threatening injuries. Right. So let's hope for that, but we'll expect that update from police. When we get it, we'll bring that to you live. Absolutely.
And again, we are staying with our live breaking news coverage out of Simi Valley, the Sandy fire. You can see it looks a lot better than it did a few hours ago, breaking out around 10:17 this morning. And again, it may have been sparked by a tractor doing some brush clearing. We're still going to wait for the official calls, but that actually was one of the reports that was given to us. But you can see the FOS check is working. We can see the communities right there. The hillside very charred adjacent to those homes, but we do know one structure was destroyed, really. I mean, I think it's still smoldering. Sid Garcia was right by there. But again, you can see it's kind of, I mean, I don't want to say good, but I know our weather is being more favorable for this situation right now, too. And it is burning south-southwest in the direction of Agoura Hills, Thousand Oaks, away from Simi Valley, but that is where we have someone on the phone, someone who has been evacuated. Brandon Chen, I believe, who is joining us now. And Brandon, you were in the area that was evacuated. Hopefully everything is okay for you, but I'm sure you experienced a lot of rattled nerves and probably a lot of smoke this morning. Can you tell us your experience?
Oh yeah, definitely. So I in the evacuation zone, very close. Actually woke up to a bunch of sirens and looked outside my window, and there was just billows and billows of smoke. And turned on the news, and before we knew it, got messages on our phones that we needed to evacuate. And so started packing bags as quickly as possible, and definitely concerned because there was, you know, fire trucks running up and down the street. And, you know, just went over to my sister's house, which was right down the road. As soon as we heard somebody on a megaphone telling us that we had to get out as quickly as possible. And so she's just outside the evacuation zone, but as I look out the window right now, I can still see tons of smoke and actually some flames still. So that's the situation where I am.
Well, Brandon, do you feel like it was, I don't want to call it organized chaos, but that's, you know, kind of an easy way of describing it. It sounded like there's a lot of stuff going on, but did you ever feel rattled, or did you feel like this was all being handled really well?
kind of a combination. At first, we were definitely rattled, just hearing all the sirens and hearing people telling us we had to get out. So my mom and I, we were packing our bags as quickly as possible. We had 2 dogs that we had to get in the car and get all their stuff as well. And as we were leaving, there's just people everywhere with their phones, and cameras up and down the street. Lots of smoke, so people with masks as well. And just kind of a scary situation. But the more time that goes on, we see that the dark smoke is turning to white smoke, and we can see lots of planes dropping, so that's comforting. And now I'm in a safe location with the rest of my family, so glad about that.
Yeah, that's definitely a relief. When there's a stressful time, you're all together, and hopefully, our thoughts are with you. Incredible work that I know that a lot of family members are doing right now. One of our colleagues had to go home because he was also part of the evacuation zone. So a lot of people trying to get to their area to try to pack their things up and be ready just in case that they have to be. But again.
Yeah. So Brandon, we want to say thank you very much and glad everything worked out very well for you. We're going to break away from you because we're looking at San Diego here to the right and get an update on the shooting that happened today at the Islamic Center. Let's listen in.
Still very early in our investigation. We've got Chief Scott Wallace going to let you know what occurred. We are going to have time for questions afterwards, and so please, this is Chief Scott Wallace.
This is every community's worst nightmare. I want to give you some preliminary information to put a lot of minds at ease. There is no further threat. Both suspects in this case are deceased. All of the kids are safe. Our hearts go out to the families that are in this moment being notified of what has happened to their loved ones. We have 3 confirmed adults that are deceased at the Islamic Center. There is a lot of preliminary information that we're going to try to highlight and cover, but understand it's going to take us some time to get accurate information out to everyone. Here's what we know so far. At about 11:43, we received a call of an active shooter at the Islamic Center. Within 4 minutes, officers arrived on scene and observed immediately 3 deceased, what appeared to be deceased victims out in front. They immediately began to deploy with an active shooter response into the mosque and adjacent school. At about the same time, we began to receive calls from just a couple blocks away that we had more active gunfire. Officers were also responding to that call for service at the same time. There was a landscaper that was doing his work that was shot at and fortunately was not hit. That was at about the 7100 block of Salerno, which is just a couple blocks from here. Moments later, at the 3800 block of Hatton, officers were called to that location where they found a vehicle in the middle of the street with who we believe to be the shooters in this incident, both deceased. The circumstances that led up to this and the details of what happened and exactly which time it happened will come out in the days ahead. I can tell you, this is, in 28 years, this is the most dynamic and impressive response that I have ever seen in policing. We have every single police officer available throughout our county that dropped what they're doing and did exactly what they're trained to do: run towards gunfire. I could not be more proud, and I cannot express the gratitude, the willingness to step into harm's way in a moment like this. And I tell you what got me. Watching the kids come running out. Just thankful to be alive. I want to bring up Mark Remley from the FBI. Because of the Islamic Center location, we are considering this a hate crime until it's not. And at this point, we're going to work closely with the FBI to make sure that we are matching all the resources that we need for this investigation. So, Mark?
Good afternoon. My name is Mark Remley. I'm the Special Agent in charge of the FBI San Diego Field Office. Today, the FBI responded to assist our local law enforcement partners at the Islamic Center of San Diego. This was based on reports of an active shooter. As the chief said, what we know at this time is that there are 3 deceased adult males, and those are the presumed victims at this time. On behalf of the FBI, we extend our sincerest condolences to the family and friends of the victims of this tragic incident. There were 2 subjects, both teenagers, and both are confirmed deceased. I want to thank our local law enforcement partners for their quick response that undoubtedly saved the additional loss of life. The FBI is meticulously assessing the situation and is prepared to employ every resource we have to uncover the facts of this incident. No community should have to go through such a tragic incident, but we will work tirelessly until we learn the truth. We have on scene a number of special agents, task force officers, our evidence response personnel, victim specialists, and many more. As we work through this investigation, we ask for your patience to determine any motive and facts associated with the shooting. The FBI continues to ask for the public's help in providing any information that could help us resolve this investigation, and we remind the public that any detail, no matter how small, could be useful. The FBI has set up a digital media tip line for information regarding this shooting. We ask that the public submit their tips to fbi.gov or call 1-800-CALL-FBI with any information you may have. Thank you.
One more piece of information that I failed to put out. There is a reunification center set up at 4125 Hathaway, where parents can be reunified with their kids and any other loved ones that might be related to the Islamic Center. That is the location where you can be reunified. Next, I want to bring up the Mayor of San Diego, Mayor Todd Gloria.
Thank you, Chief. I want to be here to reemphasize what our police chief said. The threat currently has been addressed. Children are safe, and that is a good thing. Obviously, we've had the loss of life here at the Islamic Center of San Diego, and to our local Muslim community, my prayers are with you. I want to assure our Muslim community that we will do everything it takes to make sure that you can feel safe in this city. And no resource will be spared in making sure that our religious institutions and locations are protected in this sensitive time. I want to express my appreciation to the San Diegans who responded to our calls to clear the area, to allow law enforcement to do their jobs. I ask you to continue to do that until you hear otherwise. As Chief said, students can be picked up at the church just down the street here. We have that information already sent out. Lastly, I would just say at this time, obviously we'll have more comments later today. But at this moment, I want to simply express my immense gratitude and that of all 1.4 million San Diegans for the incredible law enforcement response that we saw here today. As Chief mentioned, a response within 4 minutes. This is what we train for. This is what we budget for. This is what we ask of our public safety professionals, and they absolutely deliver in the way that we ask them to do so. I appreciate our San Diego Police Department, our San Diego Fire and Rescue Department, our chief of the fire department is here as well as our local, state, and federal partners, many of whom have been in touch with me directly, recognizing the gravity of this situation and why it is so such a tragic situation for which there'll be a lot more work to be done in the days, weeks, and months ahead. Again, my condolences to the victims and their families, to our Muslim community. One of our great leaders is here, Imam Taha, who is directly impacted. This is a time for making sure that we do everything that's necessary to investigate and fully address the incident that was here today, but to reassert, as I always will, that hate has no place in the city of San Diego, and when it happens and crime of any nature occurs, we will hold you accountable. Again, appreciation to our public safety professionals. I'll turn it back to our chief.
I'll open it up to questions here in just a second. I want you to keep in mind, we're giving you what we have and what we know at this point, and there's only so many there's a limitation of what we can go into at this point until we can confirm information. So with that, we'll open up to a couple questions. Yeah, so thank you for asking that. How many total deceased? So we have our 2 suspects that are deceased. We have 3 victims at the Islamic Center. All 3 are adults, for a total of 5 people that are deceased related to this incident.
I wanted to confirm the Bolo, the county-wide one that went out this morning, if that was in connection to this, the dad that called 911 saying that his son stole his car and his shotguns were missing.
Yeah,
Is that one of the suspects here?
Yeah, so we are actively investigating that right now to figure out and piece together exactly what led to this moment. And as we get that information confirmed and verified, we'll be back out here providing more details moving forward. So the suspects at this point appear to have died from self-inflicted gunshot wounds. There were no officers involved in firing their weapons, but that is still very preliminary at this point. But that's what we believe right now. 2 males. At this point, we believe them to be 17 and 19.
The suspect's identity was put out on the air pretty quickly. Was the suspect already known that they planned this and people were aware of this before it happened?
So again, we are actively investigating the things that led up to this. Obviously, these things don't typically just happen on a whim, and the information that we knew preceding it is what we're actively looking into, and once we get that information verified and assembled, we will provide it. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. So the Islamic Center does have security. One of the deceased is a security guard that works there, and I think played a pivotal role in assisting from this being much worse.
Were there cameras there? Are you looking at footage?
Yes. Yeah. The Islamic Center does have cameras, and there is footage. There's going to be a tremendous amount of information and details that we're going to try to sort and put this puzzle back together again. Not confirmed. No, we don't. Shannon, I don't necessarily know, which locations were put on a lockdown. There's other neighboring schools in the area. It's standard protocol when information like this comes out with an active shooter, we try our best to get that information out and either shelter in place or evacuate from the area if it's ideally safe to do so. So that would not be outside of protocol for that to happen.
Just one more question. Yes.
So our initial officers that got on scene did not engage with the suspects in the parking lot. They began to make entry into the Islamic Center. They observed 3 deceased bodies outside of the center, which obviously forced them to engage in an active shooter response and immediately deploy inside of the Islamic Center and start working from room to room. They did have to breach doors to get into all of the different rooms. Extremely chaotic. There was somewhere between 50 to 100 police officers inside of that facility. All of you that responded here could see how many officers and deputies from around the county that were surrounding the outside of the facility. We also have the scene a couple blocks away where we had active gunfire coming in on a landscaper that was just out there doing his job. Thankfully, he's okay. He was not hit. He was not injured. But we got a lot of work to do to try to figure out what led up to this and exactly what actions took place. But I can tell you with 100% certainty, the heroic actions of the responding officers and deputies is beyond words. To know that this many of our public servants are willing to leave their loved ones behind, drop what they're doing, and run towards gunfire without asking any questions is remarkable. Not yet. We're obviously making notifications as we speak to family and loved ones, and so I want to respect that. So we will be back. We will be back with more information a little bit later today. Thank you, guys.
Okay, so you heard the briefing. This was the shooting at the Islamic Center in San Diego that happened at about 11:43 while we were covering.
Good afternoon.
Okay, we're going to listen in to the imam from the Islamic Center.
The Islamic Center of San Diego. I know it's time of sorrow, time of sadness. We have never experienced a tragedy like this before. And at this moment, all what I can say is sending our prayers and standing in solidarity with all the families in our community here. And also the other mosques and all the places of worship in our beautiful city should always be protected. It is extremely outrageous to target a place of worship. Our Islamic Center is a place of worship. People come to the Islamic Center to pray, to celebrate, to learn. Not only Muslims, but we have people from all walks of life. Just this morning, earlier, a group of people, non-Muslims, coming just to learn about our faith and our cultures. So this is something that we have never expected. And I would like also to thank all the people who contacted us from all over the country and even from overseas to give condolences and to ask about, is there anything they can do to help? And I would like also to thank our local authorities, our San Diego Police Department, the FBI, the San Diego Police Department, FBI, and all the Sheriff Department, our mayor, for showing up and standing in solidarity with us. So this is what I have to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. That's all the time we have right now. We will come back in 2 hours and we will also set up for
So there you go. You were able to hear the comments made. Again, the sad developments, 3 people dead outside of the Islamic Center, one of them a security guard, and you heard the chief of police saying that the situation could have been much worse without his actions that stopped the two potential teenage suspects who eventually died, apparently from self-inflicted gunshot wounds, which the developments that he talked about were that there were actually two sites, one at the Islamic Center, which, hundreds of police officers responded to that site, but then these two suspects then took off, went to a different location where they shot at a landscaper, and then eventually, in all likelihood, took their own lives in a vehicle that was in the middle of the street. So just so sad developments at this Islamic Center in San Diego.
So sad. But you were hearing the San Diego Police Chief Scott Wall saying that they also pulled in the FBI because of where the shooting taking place at the Islamic Center. They're going to consider it a hate crime, but he said they're still trying to piece together the chain of events that led up to the shooting. The FBI saying, please, if you have any information, any tip, it's not considered too small. They want to hear from anyone who knows anything about this.
And we do want to point out, too, while sadly 3 adult men were killed in this, all of the children were safe. As far as the people inside the mosque, they were safe. The staff was safe. But that doesn't diminish the fact that the 2 men outside, or the 3 men outside of the mosque, were killed by these 2 teenage suspects, potentially 17 and 19 years old.
Absolutely. And we just heard from the police chief that they are going to hold another press conference in about 2 hours. We are certainly going to stay on top of this breaking news story. We're going to bring you the very latest on Eyewitness News at 3 o'clock. And thank you for joining us for our extended coverage, because we did have breaking news in Simi Valley of the Sandy fire.
So we are looking at, we wanted to give you the update on this. We had an update on the acreage, 720 acres now having burned with the Sandy fire. This started around shortly after 10. The initial reports are potentially, according to Simi Valley Police Department, they received a call at 10:17 that somebody had been clearing brush. They believe that their tractor had hit a rock, sparked, possibly started the brush fire. Now, again, they don't know, that they haven't confirmed that that is exactly the reason, but we like to pass that along, because in many cases like this, there's no lightning, there's no natural causes for this, and so in many cases that might spark the fears of arson. And it does appear, according to the Simi Valley Police Department, that it does seem as if someone was trying to do the right thing and clear the brush, because we know this is the time of year that we're supposed to be doing this, and it might just simply be an accidental fire. And there has been one home burned as a result of this. But through incredible effort by multiple agencies, and hundreds of firefighters, it does appear that just one home was lost. While tragic for that one family, that a remarkable effort by firefighters to get this fire, it seems, under control. Incredible work from firefighters. We've been seeing it all morning long. I think the call came in around 10:17 a.m. and we've been following it all throughout our 11 a.m. newscast. But again, we know that one property looked to be destroyed, but you can see that fire crews seem to be getting the upper hand. And we, of course, will have all the very latest developments on this fire, the Sandy fire in Simi Valley, as well on Eyewitness News at 3 o'clock. We certainly thank you for joining us today.